It's the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, rounds 9 to 12 on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit in Kent in the United Kingdom. Good evening everybody, welcome along to iRacing Live, Apex Racing TV and Motors TV. You're joining Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson and Adam Bath for the action, all the action from Brands Hatch tonight. 4 races we have on tap, and Adam, well, the track looks glorious bathed in the sunlight. We're going to see some fireworks here, I'm sure.
Yeah, this circuit is where the BSR TC began all the way back in 2013, and the series has developed immensely since then, and this track always provides great racing. Now with a new 4-race format, we're going to see some more great racing. We saw a few seasons ago Pete Media, which is now Simpson Racing, take a 1-2-3, and many other fantastic moments and some big crashes as well, because this track isn't the widest on the calendar. And yeah, as I was saying, 4 fantastic races coming up.
Speaking of Simpson, and we throw it over to Alex. Hello, mate.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Brands Hatch, you know, how much experience have you had of this circuit? It's not one that the Formula 1 car usually frequents, but I know you've done some GT stuff here and the like.
Yeah, done a little bit. I actually quite enjoy the Indy circuit. I don't know why I don't quite get on with the GP one, but the Indy one I love. It's a great car to, also a great track just to throw the car around, and you know, I've done like Lotus 79 and IndyCar around there, and you know, it's just good fun track just to jump in and have a quick, you know, hosted session and a quick race.
Adam mentioned it wasn't particularly wide out there. What do you think is the main challenge around here?
Well, I think this is going to be quite a challenge. What we're about to see now, qualifying, you can see all the cars streaking past now. Finding a gap in qualifying so you're not going to get held up, that's going to be extremely tricky. But yeah, this race is going to tick by very, very quickly. Overtaking's not easy, and I think you know, if you have a bad qualifier this week, you're really going to struggle to get back towards the front. We've seen cautions here in the past as well, and I think, you know, there's a good chance that we could see another one tonight. A lot of cars out there right now. I'm looking at my my timing sheet, and we've got 53 cars to go around the circuit. I mean, they're almost going to be line astern, aren't they?
Adam, I hadn't quite realised, but it's going to end up like Bristol very quickly, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
Oh,
I think,
there's a crash. Who's that? CQR car off. Is that Paul Smith who's just been hit? Who's been just rear-ended at Druids? I think it was. And if he's got serious damage, he's not going to be able to set a competitive time in qualifying, and that's going to hurt him in the AM Championship.
Yeah, he's got massive damage to the rear, and of course, yeah, the qualifying
and
rules.
off goes
another. It's a blue
goes
car.
The 88 car as well. That's Lorne Murray.
New for this weekend, Laurie.
Back on there.
And also, quickly, we'll take you through the championship standings. 2 race meetings have been elapsed so far this season. 6 different winners from the first 8 races. Simon Field, though, continues to lead the championship. He led it going into Watkins Glen, and he continues to lead it going into Brands Hatch. Selin Chepelevsky, 25 points behind. Then 11 points behind him, it's Wojciech Savidovic, gaining 12 places as a result of his 2 wins at Watkins Glen. Richard Gore, the AM leader, is 4th in the main championship, and Nick McCarron, another AM driver, is in 5th. So fantastic first 2 race meetings for them. Ross Balfour, newcomer to the series, in 6th in the championship, with Alex Smolensky in 7th. Jamie Fluke, who took 2 race victories at Watkins Glen as well, in 8th. Paul Smith in 9th, and Craig Evans in 10th. Earning AM standings, Richard Gore, as we were saying, leads Nick McCarron. Paul Smith a bit further back in 3rd. Craig Evans in 4th, Liam Atkins is in 5th. And finally, in the team standings, Apex Racing, a Pro-Am team, is leading the overall teams championship, 262 points ahead of Alpha Tech, with Simpson Racing in 3rd, Friction Racing 4th, and Eurotip Digital, as a result of Savidovic's successes. Watkins Glen is up to 5th.
Alex, traffic could potentially be a huge problem here.
Massive
in the race.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know these cars obviously get great draft and things like that as well. So it's going to be, it's not going to be easy. I think, you know, this is a different style of race, different mindset's going to be needed out there. It'll be a lot of, I think we'll see a lot of impatience creep in, certainly into the second race. The first one might not be too bad, but I think once they realise it's just, you know, it's really difficult to make their way forward, I think we'll see a few rash moves, which is why I think we'll probably have a safety car in one of these races.
I think when the DTM raced, yes, when the DTM raced here a few years ago, I think one of the drivers likened it to racing around a washing machine.
Yeah, that's about right. There's about as much space, I think, as there is inside the average family spinner. But I think Adam, it's not so much the difference in time, and it's not so much sort of the the difference in speed of the drivers that's going to sort of generate all this lap traffic, but it's just the sheer size of the field spread, and how long it takes the train to go through. I think that's going to cause the issues for the leaders, especially in the latter laps, because it's only a 19 lap race. But when you're behind those cars, just anyway you lose time, don't you?
Yeah, when there was a big crash here a few seasons ago, the drivers were having to lap them during the race, and yeah, with the amount of cars we've got on track, as you're saying, nearly 50 cars, they're going to be stretching
over 50 cars.
Over 50 cars, in fact, they're going to be stretching all the way back, almost to clearways, and it doesn't matter if we run green for the entire race distance. 19 laps, still only about 15 minutes of racing. I'm sure we'll still be getting lap traffic, of course. Shorter races this time around, so the traffic, I think, will still play an issue, even though the races are still extremely short.
Alex, you mentioned earlier on that it's going to be very difficult for people to come through the field in the event of a problem, but how would you approach the race if you do have to start near the back, either due to a penalty or just due to having a slow qualifying?
How would I approach it?
Yes, how would you approach it?
I just think
this is the time when you earn your money, sunshine.
Yeah, I just think you've got to go for it, haven't you? I mean, you've got no time to waste. It's such a short circuit. You got to go. You see an opportunity, you got to take it. It might mean you have to throw your nose up the inside and things like that, and make a gap here and there, as long as you don't wipe out your opponents. I mean, it's probably not the best etiquette, but it's the only way you're going to move forward at this circuit, and I think there'll be a lot of people that will sort of switch to that kind of tactic very, very early on tonight.
I think Andrew's asking for tips for this Sunday's Kia Club Series race.
It's funny, I was just going to come to that, because I don't want the conditions to necessarily be like this. It's only 24 degrees Celsius ambient temperature, 26 track temperature, and what that's resulting in, Adam, is especially coming into clearways and even into Paddock Hill Bend, it's resulting in some almighty slides as the rear tyres just do not want to play ball here.
And we see a whole load of sliding in the normal conditions, so get ready for some action-packed turn one. A whole load of cars went off here back a few seasons ago. Just going to look at penalties as well heading into this race, and of course if you saw Watkins Glen last week, we've got a ton of them to go through, and a lot of back of grid penalties as well. We'll start with Jack McIntyre, race one. He got disqualified and he's got the back of the grid. Ken Bracey and Matt Bunn, their two crashes in Watkins Glen have earned them a few point penalties. But now we get onto the cars that we're starting at the back of the grid. We've got Mero, we've got Jerome Kaiser, Matt Bunn, Nathaniel Simpson, Steve Hefford, Cesare Rizzo, David Baker, Rick Scott, Rob Fagg, Cesare Rizzo, who will also be starting from the pit lane in both the first and second races. Sebastian Joe will be starting at the back of the grid, and then Rob Plumley will be excluded from qualifying, and so will Stuart Atkinson. So a whole lot of cars and a few big names, two champions in David Baker and Sebastian Joe. They'll be right at the back for this first race.
And basically excluded from qualifying, back of the grid. You pick your poison. They're both the same. They're both terrible. Alex, it's not the track again where you don't even get the opportunity to qualify.
No, this is not what you want. I mean, the fortunate thing for those guys is if they can get themselves into that top 26, that's still some 30 places that they've got to improve. They've got a chance for a good reverse grid, and then of course they're back on. We saw that last week with Wojciech. So, I think that's what they're going to hope for. Try and get themselves in there. If they don't manage to do it in the first race, then they just really need to knuckle down, and hopefully they can be there for the third and final round.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, but it's a very different track to the last week, though, Adam.
Yeah, it's almost the same length, however it's completely different because we've got so many more big braking zones, and slipstream's not going to be as big as it was at Watkins Glen. We'll still see a bit of it down the front straight heading into Paddock Hill Bend, but it won't be like the back straight that we saw at Watkins Glen into the carousel. We've got Paddock Hill Bend, of course. We saw a few overtakes there last season, however some of them were a bit rash and resulted in contacts, and then the big overtaking spot, unpredictably, is down into Druids Bend, and some moves being done out of it down into Graham Hill, going into Surtees in fact, and then the run down the back straight in towards the quick chicane, and then that typical Matt Neal corner heading up to Clearways. That it could be another key spot to watch out for, and usually another area of the track where we see some contact.
Yeah, it seems like there are a lot of half chances to overtake on this track. Alex, I mean, these guys are gonna, they're gonna be beating each other up for the best part of 20 minutes out there. But of course, the most important phase of the race is usually the start. And here it's very interesting, isn't it? Because of the way that the grid slopes in towards the pit lane.
I mean, the cold circuit out there, pressure's obviously not going to be quite right. Maybe that's where we'll see my safety car.
There's going to be some people going a bit sideways on the start, I'll tell you that now, because I had a practice start or two a couple of days ago, and that was in much warmer conditions than this. So drivers are probably going to be wanting to just point the wheel slightly to the left. And similar to when we used to start the races on the oval, Alex, I don't know if you remember that at Charlotte. It's a tough one, this, isn't it?
I think we've seen so many issues, I think, in the past as well with this start. So that in itself should just let you know how difficult this is. So I can't really sort of understate, how tough this start is, and even the front wheel drive cars with that rear end being so loose, I just think, it doesn't matter if the track was hot as well, I think it's still tricky down there. 53, did I say?
53.
53 cars all going into that corner. Yeah.
And
it's not going to be easy.
On that note, I'm going to ask Adam to go through the grid. If you want, I'll split it with you. If you do the first half, I'll do the second half.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be best.
We'll go down to 28th then.
Oh, Stalin Chepelevsky is on pole position. Let's hope they don't set any quicker times as well, because I don't think we'll have enough time to get through all of them. Stalin Chepelevsky is on the pole. Andreas Katz in second place. The top lap times are incredibly close here, by the way. Michael Shellback in third. Dan Kraft in fourth. Ben Hackerson in fifth. Wojciech Savidovic in sixth position. George Simmons in seventh. Russell Laidler eighth. Alex Molensky is in 9th and Colin Cunniff rounding out the top 10. Jamie Rushworth is in 11th place. Simon Field 12th. Dan Hunt 13th. 14th for Michael Hall. 15th for Jamie Fluke, who took 2 victories at Watkins Glen last time. Philip Johansson 16th. 17th Julian Janowski. 18th Ashley Blake Hood. 19th Ross Balfour, who's continuing to shine in the series. And 20th is Roy Ververke. 21st is Pete Newman, whose team got a 1-2-3 here 2 seasons ago. 22nd Richard Gore. 23rd Liam Atkins. 24th Kip Stevens, and then in 25th place it is Laura Bond. Over to you, Andrew.
Paul Smith is 26th, Nick McCarron 27th, 28th for Dan Blake. It's Andrew Whitehead in 29th, 30th for Stuart McFadden, a newcomer to the series. 31st, Jay Wright. 32nd, Andrew Brown. 33rd, Lorne Murray. 34th, Scott Malcolm. Then it's Robert Graham in 35th. John Roberts, 36th. 37th, Steve Richardson. Oh, God. 38th, Michael Blake. Another newcomer, I believe, Max Wright in 39th, 40th Craig McLeod-Evans, 41st Ken Bracey, 42nd Rick Scott. And the people who haven't set a time: Sebastian Job, David Baker, Steve Hefford, Nathaniel Simpson, Jack McIntyre, Jerome Kaiser, Rob Plumley, Diogo Melro, Matthew Bunn, Stuart Atkinson, and Cesare Rizzo. And I'm never doing that again.
I think I've built up the stamina to do it the last 5 seasons, however long we've been doing it. But yeah, not too long before we go down.
I think we're going to get a tiny bit longer to grid as well, Adam. So we rushed for nothing, I think, for the second week in a row.
Well, Stalin Chepelevsky is on the pole. He's the most winningest driver around this circuit. Won 3 times around here. The second place in that stakes is Wojciech Savidovic with 2, and Kip Stevens with 2, and John Richardson, who races in the Kia Club Series. And just looking at the cars that are at the back, Andrew, they're almost on the exit of clearways.
Have a look. Where are they?
Saw one of the...
Oh dear, yeah, okay. Well, they're going to get a good run, actually. It's downhill on that little sector, so providing they can get it hooked up, they've got a chance. Alex, can Stalin Chepelevsky win from pole position?
Well, I'll certainly be rooting for him. We haven't seen Cheppy sort of right at the front, so he's definitely got the ability to. So good qualifying. Let's hope for it.
Hold on to your hats, boys. 1 Kia Optima for every week of the year, plus 1 more. Going to go racing now at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit in the United Kingdom. Revs are rising then here. The green light is on at Brands Hatch. Everyone just sort of slides down towards the pit wall. And now we've got to see, is everyone going to get through safely? I think that's the only thing we can really call on this start.
Whoa.
Be careful of the cold tyres, everybody. Let's have a look at the back of the field. I think everybody is... Oh, no, no, they're not. Oh, somebody's round. CQR car and a red car. Can't even tell who that was. Oh, there's a bit of a pile-up coming into Druids. Few cars round.
Quite a few, in fact. And we've got Ken Bracey, Steve Hefford, David Baker's working his way through. I think he survived without damage. Nathaniel Simpson and Jack McIntyre.
I think Baker could have been one of the ones involved in that incident. Somebody got turned around there, Alex. We can have a little look at that in a little while. But leading from the first lap is Andreas Katsu. Made a really, really good start, the two-time champion.
Yeah, he takes the lead from Chepelevsky, and it was pretty easy down towards Druids Bend. He was able to get the lead away. Then it's Chepelevsky in second. Shellback. He comes up to the top of the hill in Druids. We always see that so many times in the touring cars in real life. And his teammate, who had an enormous tank slapper through Paddock Hill Bend on lap 1, Michael Shellback, closing up onto braking. But here comes Kraft down the inside into Surtees. No way through though.
Yes, indeed. Daniel Kraft and Wojciech Svidovic is lurking. Ben Hackerson in 6th. It's really good from him to be up there amongst this company, which he's used to now. Look at them all filing through, Alex. This is crazy.
It's a great sight, to be honest. You know, we see this week in, week out with the amount of people and the amount of drivers out there, and again, Brands Hatch delivering as well. So
already cars in Druids, Alex, after 3 laps, thanks to the crashes.
Yeah, we did wonder whether or not it would stretch out the whole track, and 17 laps, we might see it.
And now, of course, it's Cesario Rizzo had to start the race from the pit lane. So already at a setback, and pretty soon he'll be facing the wrath of these leaders coming at him in just a few laps' time.
The retirements, Adam. McLeod Evans, Nathaniel Simpson, Max Wright, and Steve Hefford. I don't know if McLeod Evans is going to retire. He's just pulled into the pit box. Back at the tail end of the field proper is Stuart Atkinson in 44th place. Everyone else has had incidents.
Speedage.
Yeah,
on Kraft, sorry. Andrew there,
it's fine.
4th.
Here it comes.
Down inside he goes.
Easy. Kraft's cut the course a little bit there.
And now he's having to defend from that high eclectic motorsport car there of Ben Hackerson.
And then down the inside goes everyone.
Basically, and we saw that. I think Alex was talking about this a few seasons ago. It's almost like a NASCAR track in the fact that if you get hung out to dry, you're really a sitting duck.
Is that Simmons and Laidler pushing?
Was.
You push me, I'll push you back. And Alex, I'm not sure that that's really what you want to be.
It's not
sort
over.
of game you want to be playing, because Laidler and Simmons aren't the kind of drivers to give each other any sort of leeway.
I said at the start of this race as well, expect there to be very little patience out there, and drivers would be a bit more aggressive than they would be normally, and I think we're already starting to see that.
Side by side, Philip Johansson and Daniel Hunt through Paddock Hill as well.
And the side-by-side racing, up to the top of the hill then. Down the inside also goes Colin Cunniff on the inside of Russell Laidler. So Laidler loses out there, and Laidler's gone out wide now, and it's under pressure from the sim racer car Smolensky, and down the inside goes Hackerson on the race-up car there, Jamie Rushworth, and that's going to allow the other friction racing cars to get alongside, and that's Simon Field.
Hackerson trying to make that move through Graham Hill Bend into clearways then. And it's so close in now. I'm not sure I'd want to be. I know it's going to be fast and furious.
We've lost a couple of people.
Blake Hood's been turned around.
And Janowski as well. Let's take a quick look at that one, see what happened there.
Car's blown its engine right in the middle of the racetrack there. Can't work out who it is.
Have we got a victim?
So it's an engine all direct car, and it's Dan Blake.
Dan Blake there, so last minute paint scheme change hasn't helped, unfortunately for Dan.
We're on board with Janowski. He just got. Do you know what? It was something completely further behind, and someone, I can't think who that was. Oh yeah, you're right. And there's the engine blown as well. So who was that who made contact with?
There was a race-up car. I don't know that was actually Blake Hood.
Yeah, it was. It was Ash. Let's just go back a tiny little bit again. Just have a second review on that, because I think he got tagged and then unfortunately got pushed into Ash, and then
Ashley Blake Hood racing this race meeting as a result of Ashley Sutton getting prepared for the first British touring car race of the season at Brands Hatch this weekend.
Yeah, we wish him all the best, of course. And goodness me! So that was Laidler getting turned slightly by Smolensky coming out of Druids.
And now here comes
getting a bit.
Fields through. So Smolensky down a few positions.
Jamie Fluke and Jamie Rushworth battling. Two of the best Jamies in the series, in fact the only two Jamies I think in the series, of course. The 5 car of Daniel Hunt giving a shove to Philip Johansson. former Kia Club Series driver Johansson, British driver.
Along they go then onto lap 8 of 19. Quickly approaching the halfway distance here. So much action, as we were saying, in this first race of the night. Up to Druids Bend, no attempts there by those guys fighting for those positions inside the top 10. Ben Hackerson desperately trying to get past Russell Layla. They're no way through, and now having to defend from Simon Field, who took one race victory here a few seasons ago.
Nick McCarron's out, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Look at this almighty battle, starting with Scott Malcolm in 29th and working back towards, I think, Dave Baker in 30. Well, sorry, not Dave Baker. He's gone through now. Your own Geyser in 38th. Alex, that's a big train there.
Huge, and they're all separated by about 3 to 5 tenths of a second. So nothing between them at the moment.
Battle for the lead also remains at just 1/10 of a second. And talking about patience, Chepelevsky looks a bit desperate to try and get past Andreas Katz. But is there more further battles going on in that battle for the final few positions in the top 20?
No, I saw a car bouncing, and it was just a bit of lag, and I thought somebody had had a big moment. But Andreas Katz hasn't really had any moments at all so far, and he's looking good out there, Adam. He's looking calm. He's looking collected. It's relatively easy to defend here if you place your car well. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, Laidler was a little bit wide, coming under pressure from Field. I think he just lost the place to Hackerson as well. Trying to get the place back on the swap in.
Oh, he gets hit by Laidler. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it again. Hackerson runs just a little bit wide, 2 wheels into the gravel. We see that so many times. Up towards Druids, no way through. Laidler can't get it down the inside.
Move. Nice defending by Laidler. He did that late cut-in. The early cut-in towards the apex, very late on the brakes. Sort of, that's what we talked about last week, Alex, carrying the speed into the corner. That is a viable way to overtake, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Sutton does it so well, and, this is what people need to sort of embrace, I think, that sort of technique to the overtaking, so carry the speed in, but make sure you get it stopped still on the apex, and, you can't get through, so. It's difficult, though.
We mentioned during this...
Sorry, Karen.
Sorry, I was going to say we mentioned during the Formula 1, it's not the fastest way around the track, but it's definitely effective if you're in hand-to-hand combat, should we say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, at the moment, there's a lot of people, trying to get track position at the moment, but it's so difficult because they're having a look and then they're instantly coming under attack from behind as well. So, it's so challenging out there as well to drive in these huge packs, because as soon as you go on the attack, you also got to go on the defence.
Field now coming under pressure from... Laidler coming under pressure from Field, who's got a lot of damage to the front of the car, and he hits the Alfa Latek car, gets him out of shape, and all the engine all direct car there, and Philip Johansson all over the place, and Jamie Rushworth has to check up, and that's going to allow the other Alfa Latek car to swoop round the outside as we head down the main straight, coming across the line to start lap number 11. Field under pressure as well from the Sim Racer car of Alex Smolensky, and now trying to put the pressure on the car in front of him. Russell Laidler was just yo-yoing backwards and forwards, as Andrew was saying, up towards Druids. Oh my word, that's close, and Field down the inside of Laidler. Done deal there, I think, and
Smolensky
as well. It's going crazy here on lap 12, down towards Graham Hill Bed. Down the inside goes Layla, back on the Sim Racer car. Smolensky not given enough room, and we know Smolensky is so feisty in these Kia touring cars. And now through the section of the Indy circuit, and now allows the engine all direct car Hansen round the outside.
Hansen, 2 yellow cars, 2 different teams. Oh, good defending by Smolensky there, and to just really stand his ground. Laidler, we had to make a stand to avoid losing too many positions. Same with Alex Smolensky, and we're on lap 13 already. And Katz and Chepelevsky. Oh, here we go. There's a bit of contact between the leaders. So Chepelevsky and getting up close and personal with Andreas Katz.
And Shellback's now on the scene, and they're getting gradually closer to Cesare Rizzo. Rizzo last time around 47.8, Katz 46.4. So they're definitely going to be right with him by the time we get to the conclusion of this race. And will this throw up another scenario that could change the outcome of who wins this first race of the night? Andreas Katz has not won a race this season. Neither has Stelian Chepelevsky, and neither has Michael Shellback. So these front three all want to get their first win of the season, but Savidovic in fourth, he's won 2.
Savidovic was the man who I was just going to talk about. Adam, if anybody can win from fourth in the late going, it's probably him. There's a battle going on. Rizzo's gone off, has he?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, that's not going to be a great place to come back on, right in front of the leaders. And is he going to realise...
Oh, no, it's going... Oh, no. And yeah, that was unfortunate really, because Cesare Rizzo had nowhere to go because the car was on the apex, the racing line, and Shepelevsky got into him.
Yeah, I mean,
got to be patient. I think you have, as somebody in second place, you've got to be a little bit more patient there. I know you want to get on the back of Katz and the back markers there, but you can see him. You can't just vanish, and you just run through him there. So just perhaps a little bit of rashness from Stillion, which is quite rare.
So difficult, Alex, when you're being lapped as well. I know you don't obviously get lapped as much as me, but it's very difficult to to always place your car in the ideal position. You just do what feels right at the time, but that's also very difficult now for them to catch Andreas Katz, because 1.5 seconds around here is an eternity.
Some shenanigans going on again at the hairpin, and then I'm just looking at Johansson and Rushworth battle that's turned into a Rushworth, Johansson fluke battle as well.
Oh, the grass. Turned into a war between those two.
And now, whoa! Ross Balfour, the car was bouncing all over the place there.
We had a chat with Ross Balfour last week, and it was very good to have him in the commentary box, and very good to see him out there doing a pretty good job. Qualified 19th and is now 15th. No retirements really from the top 10, and in fact, Adam, the top 10 are in the exact same order that they started in.
Not often we see that. Yeah, Simon Field also trying to get past.
Maybe not for long.
Yeah, maybe not for long. Simon Field trying to get past the Eclectic Motorsport car then of Ben Hackerson. He's got a fantastic run out of Graham Hill. Ben down towards 30s and McLaren's, and he's through easily.
Nice.
So Simon Field now up into an 8th position. Ben Hackerson, down to 9th. And then here comes that rest of the train. Here comes Russell Lader trying to get past Cesare Rizzo. Let's see if he can get past him a bit more cleanly than his teammate did a few laps ago.
Yeah, and I'm amazed actually that they haven't that Rizzo hasn't just dropped a bit further down, because yes, as long as he finishes in the contact with him again, that's again, Alex, lack of patience there from Laidler.
Yeah, just actually watching the Fluke and Johansson battle. Jamie up the inside. I think he's going to get that done. Seems to have cleared him.
Backmarker helped there and then this is what I think. I know it's hard to criticise Rizzo, Adam, really, because when you're that far down with damage, but
where'd you go? That's the trouble. Yeah. So many cars coming through. You need to carry on moving forward around the circuit, but you've got you got a group of 25 cars there that you've got to look through.
Because the thing is, if you let them all through, you're in danger of being lapped a second time, and then you lose all your points.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why that could actually really have a huge impact, because drivers will still be running around, but they'll be getting 0 points at the end of it. On to lap 18, then the penultimate lap of the race. We're also Colin Cunniff.
That's going to Matthew Button as well. Colin Cunniff, yeah.
Simmons still trying to stick around the outside of Graham Hill Bend, and he's still got the room.
Look at that from the Eclectic Motorsport driver.
Cunniff will shove it back down the inside.
Go around the outside. Oh yes. Cracking move from George Simmons.
It's not over yet for the race lead either.
We're about to
start the final lap of the race, and the gap is, I think, less than a second. It was 9/10 of a second last time round. It's now 3/10 of a second. So Katz 46.8 last time round. Stelin Chepelevsky 46.3, and now here we go up towards Druids. Is there an opportunity for Chepelevsky as a look to the inside, but just no way past Katz?
And Katz doesn't have any damage at him, and Chepelevsky's just doing great guns around here. He's caught at 1.5 seconds. I wonder if Katz had a little mistake. Or whether he's just a bit slower than the Bulgarian driver. I think it's the latter, to be honest. There's Chepelevsky trying everything. Is he going to try the old Matt Neal bump and run style into the clearways? I think he's quite gentlemanly about it, and he gets to drive out of the corner. Are we going to see a photo finish again? I don't think we've got the time. And Andreas Katz takes the victory here at Brands Hatch in the first round of the evening. And that's was a hard-fought one.
Well, yeah, fantastic race. And just when we thought it was all over, after that contact with Cesare Rizzo, Chepelevsky was able to fight back a whole load of blistering laps. Just going to see if I can get his laps up from the last few. 46.3, 46.2. He was definitely quicker than Andreas Katsuno's. Oh no, so I'm looking at his practice time. So what am I doing? In the race, 46.4, 46.3, 46.3. A whole load of 46.3 qualifying lap times there from Chepelevsky to get right back with Katz. And then just missed out. Maybe another lap and he might have had another opportunity, but fantastic first race there.
To give you an idea, his fastest lap was a 46.1 on lap 4. and he was still doing a 46.3 with 2 laps to go. So very, very good driving from Stelian Chepelevsky, and it really shows, Adam, and some research for me for Sunday as well. It just shows how consistent you've got to be around here for the duration of the race.
Yeah, because you're so close with everyone, and a single mistake means that you get hung out to dry and lose so many places, and you could end up being shoved outside the top 20 and lose out on the possibility of a reverse grid. And how close everyone was in the end. Let's have a look. The top 20 were separated by 16 seconds, so that's less than a second each, and that's crazy. Sebastian Job only finished 20th, however he did start 43rd. To be fair, we'll run you down where the cars that started right at the back finished. Let's see who started in the worst position. In 49th place, got to 30th, Rob Plumley. And Diego Melro started 50th and got to 35th. So some big comebacks through the pack. And only in the end, only one car finished. Who didn't finish? We had Rick Scott, who didn't take the start. Nathaniel Simpson, Steve Hefford, Dan Blake, Julian Janowski, Max Wright, Craig McLeod-Evans, Ashley Blake Hood, and then 9 laps down Scott Malcolm, Ken Bracey 5 laps down, Nick McCarron 3 laps down, so he doesn't get any points, but Stuart McFadden gets points on his debut because he only finished 1 lap down, and so does Cesare Rizzo.
However, one thing that Nick McCarron did do by carrying on was he managed to just get himself a few extra places that he might not have got otherwise, because of course you've got to start as high up as you can in this field, and 43rd is better than where he possibly would have been, which might have been 46th, 47th place.
Yeah, every position counts. Well, let's take you through the finishing order then for the first race of the evening, and we've got 3 more races of this, so stay around here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Andreas Katz takes the victory by 92 thousandths from Stelian Chepelevsky. Michael Schaubach in 3rd, 4th Wojciech Savidovic, 5th Dan Kraft, 6th George Simmons, 7th Colin Cunniff, 8th Simon Field, 9th Ben Hackerson, rounding out the top 10 Russell Layla. So the top 10 staying pretty much nearly the same, apart from the likes of Field and Cunniff breaking in there. 11th for Alex Smolensky, Jamie Fluke in 12th. 13th in the end was Jamie Rushworth, 14th Philip Johansson, 15th Ross Balfour, 16th Pete Newman, 17th was Liam Atkins, 18th was Richard Gore, so he's in contention for the reverse grid. Kip Stevens in 19th. I think that's the first time this year that Richard Gore's been in contention for the reverse grid. And 20th is Sebastian Job, 21st Paul Smith, 22nd Dan Hunt, 23rd Laura Bond, 24th Roy Ververke, 25th Andrew Brown, 26th was Andrew Whitehead, 27th Robert Graham in that also met car, 28th Jay Wright, John Roberts 29th, the Pro-Am Series champion from last season, and 30th was Robert Plumley. 31st David Baker, he started at the back after that penalty carried over from Watkins Glen, so he finished 31st from 44th. Steve Richardson 32nd, 33rd Jerome Kaiser, 34th Lorne Murray, 35th Diego Melro, 36th Michael Hall, 37th Michael Blake, 38th Stuart Atkinson, 39th Jack McIntyre, 40th Matt Bunn, and then as we were saying, the cars 1 lap down or more. Cesare Rizzo, Stuart McFadden, Nick McCarron, Ken Bracey, Ashley Blake Hood, Craig Evans, Max Wright, Julian Janowski, Dan Blake, Steve Hefford, Nathaniel Simpson and Rick Scott didn't take the start, and I think the highest Pro-Am driver in this race, I think it was once again Richard Gore in 18th. I will be corrected on that most likely.
Or is he Pro?
Johansson, I'll have to take a look at that. I'll look at the standings when we're in commercial break. Yeah, it might be him actually for the Engine All Direct team.
All right.
No, it's Pro. Sorry, guys.
Is it possibly Atkins then? Atkins
finished ahead of Richard Gore.
Liam,
so, yeah.
yes indeed.
So
yes,
Liam Atkins is the top Pro-Am driver, and Richard Gore just behind him.
I will point out, but Dave Baker was 31st. He got his first lap was 1 minute 10 seconds. He got hit. He was the red car that I saw getting turned around in Paddock Hill Bend, and lost probably most of that 28 seconds right there.
Tell you what, David Baker has not had a good start to this season. After taking that first race win at Phillip Island in race 1, it just hasn't gone well for him, and hopefully it gets better.
25th. He was 25th before this race, Adam, so it's going to get even worse for him probably after that.
Well then, time for the first reverse grid of the night to set the grid for race 2. And have we got? Is it the same reverse grid?
He's actually gone up to 22nd. Would you believe?
Is it the same reverse grid as function as before, Alex?
Yeah, we're on the official rule-ins now as well, so it's all good.
Are we 15th to 26th then?
With a full.
With a full.
Oh, full. Well, full could actually be quite interesting here because full could be 42 cars.
That's something. Let's have a look.
That would be excellent. We need the full. Where's that one that just had full like every 2 spaces?
15 down to 26 plus a full then.
Bring my wheel back, damn it.
Yeah. Ross Balfour then, Pete Newman, Liam Atkins, Richard Gore, Kip Stevens, Sebastian Jobe, Paul Smith, Dan Hunt, Laura Bond, Roy Ververke, Andrew Brown, Andrew Whitehead, or we have a full reverse grid. That means all the point scorers go onto pole position, and that will put Stuart McFadden on his debut race meeting onto the pole position with Cesare Rizzo in second. So let's see who's going to be on pole. Over to you, Alex, then.
I would love a full.
Here we go. I should just not roll it. I should have come back and gone, hey, it's full. Here we go.
Glit used to just hack the wheel.
Oh, it's gone. It's not coming back around, that's for sure. Oh, it's gonna be 19th. Just ticks over to 19th. I thought we were gonna see 23rd, but actually a pretty small one, really.
Tell you what, Sebastian Jobe isn't going to be happy because he was one spot away from being on pole, but Kip Stevens, who's won here twice, the two-time champion, is going to be on pole position for the second race of the night with Richard Gore alongside him, Liam Atkins third, Pete Newman fourth, and Ross Balfour in fifth.
Yeah, he's going to be extremely happy as Kip Stevens, and he's another one who's not really had a good start to the season. He's down in, good lord, 35th place in the championship at the moment. So for a perennial showdown contender, perennial championship challenger, he's all the way down there. So we're going to be back then for more action from Brands Hatch. There are 3 more races left tonight, and so we'll see you at the other side of the commercial break here on the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch. It's race 2 of 4 of the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship tonight, and we're here in this beautiful circuit in the heart of southern England. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson are with you here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. Now, 50 odd cars took the track, 52 cars it was precisely in race 1, and there was victory for Andreas Katz. And Alex, well, he's going to have a job on to do this again, given the fact that he starts in 19th place.
Yeah, and we saw how hard it was to overtake in that last race, although people did manage to do it and move up quite a few places as well. So I dare say, you know, there's an opportunity if we see a big crash or anything like that. If he can slice his way through that pretty quickly, it might be on. No safety car in the first one as well. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought it would be out a bit later on in the night. It's going to come out, I'm sure of it.
And there might be a pile up somewhere. Adam, what, if anything, did you take out away from that first race in particular?
It's very difficult to overtake. We saw the top 10 results. I think only 2 positions or so, 2 of the drivers that had started outside the top 10 actually got in there. So it's going to be, I think we're going to see it being more open, I think, in the second race. So I think we're just going to throw the form book out the window from the first race, because of course it's the reverse grid. We've got 19 cars reversed, but we're going to have, of course, the guys that won the first race fighting their way back through. So I think we're going to see a lot more position changes in this first race. It was still a very frantic first race, but I think we're going to see more overtaking in this one.
Now, Alex, the air temperature is slightly cooler. It's 22 degrees Fahrenheit as opposed to, I think it was 24 last time, and the track temperature is 30 degrees because, of course, the afternoon sunlight has come out and is shining down on this Brands Hatch Indy circuit. Should make the car a little easier to handle in the early going, but a little slower overall.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the early laps will be a lot better now that it's like that, but you know, the first couple of corners shouldn't be so treacherous. But yeah, as you say, we'll see the lap times drop off a little bit. It won't be a great deal. Still, you know, mostly cloudy out there, 23 degrees ambient air, so a little bit of wind. So, but yeah, there you know, will be there will still be you know, plenty of grip up for grabs, I think, but just not as much as we saw in that last one.
Got a minute then before the grid. Let's run you through the grid quickly. Kip Stevens is on pole position. He's won here twice before. Second on the grid, it is Richard Gore. Third, Liam Atkins. Fourth, Ross Balfour. Fifth, Philip Johansson.
Pete Newman, actually.
I've missed a car out. Yes, I have. Fifth is Ross Balfour. Sixth, Philip Johansson. Seventh, Jamie Rushworth. Eighth, Jamie Fluke. Ninth, Alex Malensky. And 10th is Russell Layler. 11th, Ben Hackerson. 12th, Simon Field. 13th, it is Colin Cunniff. 14th, it is George Simmons. 15th, Dan Kraft. 16th, Wojciech Savidovic. 17th, Michael Schalbach. 18th, Stelin Shepelewski. 19th, our race 1 winner, Andreas Katz. 20th, Sebastian Jobe. 21st, it is Paul Smith. 22nd, Dan Hunt. 23rd, Laura Bonds. 24th, Roy Ververke. 25th, Andrew Brown. And we'll run you quickly through some other drivers. Nick McCarron will be starting towards the back, as will Ashley Blake Hood after that crash. So will Julian Janowski, Dan Blake, Steve Heffer, Nathaniel Simpson, and Rick Scott did not take the start. Let's see if he does it for this one.
All right. Thank you very much again. As we're just a couple of seconds away now from the red lights coming on here at Brands Hatch for race 2. And the green light is on for the second time. Decent start from Kip Stevens, good start from Gore. Really good start from Liam Atkins. Sorry, from Pete Newman there.
And the sideways all over the place, and the Simpson Racing car got turned by the friction car, but it somehow managed to survive. 3 wide into Druids.
Who's the 39? 39 out of control, that was Shellback.
But they all get through Druids, all 54 of them, safely.
Oh, they didn't all get through Graham Hill Bend though, as off goes Wojciech Savidovic.
Wojciech Savidovic, who was 4th in race 1, off already. But he's back on.
Hit him, I think. I'm not sure who it was. But Savidovic coming a bit of a cropper there. Polish driver via Dublin, Ireland. And Kip Stevens has a nice lead. And as he tends to do here, Adam, if he gets into the lead of a race, he tends to just clear off into the distance.
Yeah, we've seen him win like the race 3, I think, at Okayama, and race 3, I think he might have done it, Interlagos as well, because he was so good.
He did one here as well, didn't he?
He won a race here as well. Oh, look at this, up to Drew. It's the race-up car of Jamie Rushworth trying to get past Richard Gore. Just couldn't do so. And in fact, Richard Gore is trying to get past Liam Atkins, who I think he lost out to at the start. So this train already starting to form on lap 2. And then we've got the Apex car of Jamie Fluke with Ben Hackerson and Simon Field resuming their battle. Pete Newman, Philip Johansson, Russell Layla, and then side-by-side George Simmons and Colin Cunniff heading up towards Clearways.
Cesare Rizzo has taken his pit start for the penalty he suffered from Watkins Glen, as Jamie Rushworth now is having a look on Richard Gore. Is he going to go down the inside into Paddock Hill Bend? He does, and the former champion moves up into third position. But Richard Gore, he's not having it. He's going to try and go around the outside and keep that third place. Oh, I was going to say he can't do it, but somehow... Oh, no, he hasn't, but a really, really good effort from Richard Gore. Alex, what are the observations from the first 2-3 laps?
Yeah, good couple of opening lap. Atkins runs just a little bit wide there. It's going to open the door a little bit for Rushworth, and you think he's going to want to pounce and get on the back of his old teammate, who's doing a great job out front. 1.4 second lead for Kip Stevens.
Sebastian Job passed Michael Schellbach, Adam, for 18th place.
Yes,
but he's lost momentum here, and Schellbach with a little bit of contact on the rear corner. He's going to have a nice run towards Paddock Hill Bend, and we'll see if the German driver can make it past the Englishman.
What a move by Rushworth, round the outside of Atkins. That's him through into second place, and now Richard Gore's going to fancy that round the outside of the CQR Academy car. I don't think there was any contact. No, there wasn't. I think it's just a small lock-up. Down the inside he goes into Graham Hill Bend, and now is Richard Gore up a position, or is it? Oh, yes. Atkins goes wide, and off he goes, and back onto the racetrack, and here comes the Friction Racing car. Is that that's Ross Balfour. Balfour coming onto the scene here through McLaren's and up to Clearways. No way through though.
Balfour on the outside, he's going to have to be careful to not get hung out to dry. And Alex Smolenski doing as Alex Smolenski does and getting up close and very personal again. And over the line again, start lap 5 already.
Look out.
And Balfour almost coming to blows with Smolenski. Against Smolenski, he's in the gravel. Doesn't really hurt you that much there, Adam.
Down the inside goes Fluke. That's brilliant from Jamie Fluke there. Yes. And Ross Balfour just getting caught out by Smolenski going very wide. And in fact, Balfour is off now, back behind the... and he hits the Simpson racing car there, Simon Fielden, who's going to lose a place now to Ben Hackerson. But they're going to be side by side into McLaren's. I think, no, they're not. They're just going to sort each other out. And that allows the other Simpson racing cars to get onto the scene there. Pete Newman, who of course took a 1-2-3 here for Pete Newman Media a few seasons ago with Simon Field.
Balfour with dirt on his tyres, and what didn't look like it was going to get a heck of a lot better. Look at Alex, I wonder if we could have a look. We're just having a look at battle a bit further down between Diogo Melro, Andrew Whitehead, Michael Hall, Matthew Bunn, those guys down there. So look at that long gaggle.
Yeah, huge pack, as you can see them all just flowing through and over the start-finish line at the moment.
Here comes Savidovic. Is he going to go down the inside of... That's Michael Blake. Oh, he's hit Steve Hefferder's Wojciech Savidovic.
So she's already down in 40th place after starting in 16th. That's towards Graham Hill Bend. That front
taken by Dan Blake.
The front of that car looks very severely damaged down. Wojciech Savidovic, however, that doesn't seem to stop him. Going from McLaren's up towards Clearways. Anywhere through now.
Great battle here as well. This is 16th, 17th and 18th. Stellian, Andreas and Sebastian separated by 0.3 of a second over all three cars at the moment. So
wow,
very close.
These three great drivers, Adam, fighting over the minor placings here.
Yeah, they just can't find their way through, can they? And round the outside goes Joe.
Joe locking the rear. Going through there. You see that trail of smoke going through Druids.
And into Graham Hill Bend. Danny inside, he goes past Andreas Katz. The two of those were fighting for the title last season, and Job's just got past the race one winner, and Katz will try and fight his way back through past the sim racer car in towards Clearways. Sebastian Job pretty comfortable there, and now he's going to try and set his sights on this train in front of him. Let's see if there's any advancements at the front of this race. So over the line we go. Richard Gore trying to... so has got past Liam Atkins, so that's as you were there. Running just a little bit wide out, Paddock Hill Bend. Jamie Rushworth getting gradually closer to his former teammate in Kip Stevens. The gap as they came across the line, 0.6 of a second.
I'm a little surprised Chepolewski hasn't made more progress, Alex, given the pace that he showed in the first race time.
Yeah, I think he's got his hands full with the people who are behind him. So 1 minute ago it was Katz, and we know that Katz will pull a move off, but now he's got Sebastian there as well. So he's looking behind as much as he's looking forward, and he's got Gaggle ahead of him as well. So not easy for him at all.
Job wide through clearways, and Katz has got to run here, Adam. I don't know if he can do anything about the sim racer car here.
He's going to try down the front straight. Also battle for the lead. Jamie Rushworth around the outside of Kip Stevens. And I think he might get it done. Stevens, of course, is a great touring car racer, two-time champion in the BSR TC. Down towards Graham Hill Bend. He gives Rushworth just enough room. Oh, my word, that's close.
Well, that's two veterans at work there, Jamie Rushworth and Kip Stevens. And it was the experience of Jamie Rushworth that stopped him going right into the back of that sim racer car. Kip Stevens, though, knows where to place his car effectively, and well, so much experience in the series, Adam. One of the original drivers, of course, here, season 1 and 2 champion. He's going to have to work hard here to repel another former champion in Jamie Rushworth.
Over the line we go then on to lap 10 of 19. Round the outside, Rushworth will try what he did last time, but this time he's going to try and get the cut back, and he twitched just a little bit there. Lost a few Ks heading up towards Druids. No way through, and in fact this is allowing Richard Gore to close in.
Alex, just that untimely bit of oversteer for Rushworth. Just did for him at the wrong moment through Paddock Hill Bend.
Yeah, exactly. Last thing he wanted. Looked like he would have had an opportunity then just to get a move onto the inside, but just had to get out of it a fraction. So not over, 10 laps to go. He definitely saw how quickly he closed in, so it's all opened up. But of course he's got to worry about the people behind him now as well, because they're right there and ready to pounce should they make a mistake.
Smolenski's definitely hassling Richard Gore there, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and Gore's under a lot of pressure. He's got his teammate behind Smolensky, Jamie Fluke. It looks like he's got a bit of an issue there, Jamie Fluke, with his mate. Acrobatics there from the Apex car. And this is situations, Alex, so you've got to be careful if you're struggling with your canal. Round goes
Stevens!
Stevens!
How's that happened? I was looking, and Stevens is facing the wrong way. Was there contact there? It was contact.
Hit by Rushworth at Druids. And there was possibly some clipping there, a little bit of netcode, all sorts of things going on with people's connections, I think, here as well. So, yeah, he can't get it turned round. I had this issue in the Formula Renault last week. There's just nothing you can do. You just have to wait. But everybody, and Alex, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, you can just see it looks like there's a little gap, but he just sits there and waits and patient. Fair play to him. He could have gone a lot earlier, but he decided not to.
Balfour down the inside of field.
Friction versus Simpson, and
Good
Simpson comes out on top.
Yeah, good run around the outside, wasn't it, by Simon Field, Adam. He used the momentum, which he can do around Druids.
Gore's still trying to hold off Alex Smolensky. Let's start lap 13 here. Apex Racing, the Apex Racing team versus Sim Racer here, and it's a Pro-Am driver versus a Pro driver. And in fact, Alex Smolensky's in a Apex Racing sandwich because he's got Jamie Fluke, who's already won twice this season, right behind him. Jamie Rushworth, this could be his second win of the season. He won at race 3 at Phillip Island. Look how close Smolensky is.
Rushworth was wide through Paddock Hill Bend. He missed the apex. No pun intended. And again through Druids. Alex, is he losing his tyres here slightly?
I'm not sure. So all of a sudden now he's not chasing anyone down. He's got the pack breathing down his neck, and sometimes it's a lot easier to go after someone than it is to lead from the front when there's not an awful lot of difference in pace. So yeah, just looking behind rather than forward.
We are of course unbiased broadcast journalists here at Apex Racing TV, but it's nice to see those green cars up there, Alex, as well.
Yeah, come on, Richard. We're unbiased.
They're doing well in the team's championship. Let's put it that way. Smolenski, he's out of control.
He's out of control. And that's what I was pointing out, Adam. Is in the practice session that I was in earlier on. You just see, you can just lose the rear end so easily in these conditions. It's slightly cooler than normal, and all sorts of issues for these guys in the fast corners. And that's the difficulty of this front-wheel drive Kia.
Further back, guys. 13th, 14th, 15th. That's Katz, Laidler, and Cunniff. Those guys were all going sort of side by side at the moment. They've just sort of fanned themselves back out into single file. But as quick as it goes on. Andrew Brown having a little look as well, so just 0.1 behind Laura Bond.
Laura Bond's in there, Paul Smith, Shellback. This could end in tears, Adam, I reckon. Laidler at the front, Cunniff there, behind,
again.
and they're fanning out across the start-finish straight.
Oh, this,
Just a second, Alex, quickly.
Where do you look?
Laidler and Cunniff side by side in paddock, and it looks like.
Oh, the Alpha Tech car's really covering it off there. Russell Laidler desperately trying to hold off Colin Cunniff. And just recapping, Richard Gore still holding on ahead of Alex Smolensky with Jamie Fluke, just waiting for them maybe to slip up. We're going to get on start lap 16, and Richard Gore gets hit by Smolensky, and Jamie Fluke sees an opportunity there.
Richard Gore, who's surely one of the most improved drivers in the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. He's trying to desperately cling on to second place. It's not about now trying to really beat Jamie Rushworth.
Oh, and down the inside.
It's Jamie Fluke down the inside and shoving Smolensky out of the way. And I don't think Smolensky's going to be too happy with the Irishman there.
And now down the inside goes Simon Field, Alex.
Yes, indeed. Bit optimistic from Fluke there, I think.
I think Smolensky should be able to hold on to that. He does.
He needs to regroup. Look forward instead of back at him here because he's got pressure from Simon Field, so he may not be able to afford to look forward.
Yeah, and he's losing touch with the Apex car, so now he's going to have to turn his attention to Simon Field around the outside.
Who was goes. Someone had some serious connection problems.
Atkins, was it?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Fluke
Balfour.
still.
It's Balfour.
He's right in the middle of that pack. No one knows where he is. He's bouncing all over the place.
Two people having issues. I wonder if he's gone again. I wonder if it's the sheer number of cars, Alex, that could be causing the issues here.
Yeah, I feel bad for Simmons.
On the outside goes Field then on Smolensky in towards Druids, lap 17. When we get to the line, there'll be 2 laps to go. So close there to nearly another quarter panel incident that we see so often here. And Smolensky's doing a fantastic job of defending, just leaving a car's width on either side. Ross Balfour, it's just him disappearing and appearing again. I keep thinking there's a car off, but no, it's just him reappearing again up towards Clearways. Smolensky still there, and Richard Gore, Jamie Fluke, they're still battling away, but I think at the moment Richard Gore's still holding on. So it's this battle between Smolensky and Field we're going to be looking at really, with 2 laps to go as we come across the line.
Rushworth laps, Andrew Whitehead. Alex, when you look at this, you look at these great packs and all this battling going on and things like that, this must be a really frustrating race because you know you can go faster if it wasn't for the battling, but you can't overtake, you just can't get through.
I mean, you can. People have made moves, but you have to be very forceful. I think that's
so many cars on the track.
Yeah, I said it earlier on. You know, you gotta go for it. You see an opportunity, you gotta take it. Just like Jamie did there. He'll let the stewards deal with that one later. Was he alongside? Did he have enough room? Who knows? The stewards will.
George Simmons is desperately trying to race Ross Balfour, but he can't because he hasn't got a clue where he is most of the time.
Yeah.
We've lost Kip Stevens, guys. So
that was completely. Yeah, completely. He's probably just had enough after that, being up front and turned and all the way down to the back. You're right.
46 cars still eligible for the reverse grid. Sorry, the last bit.
I was just saying that with Ross, George. There's just nothing George can do right now. He's just popping in and out. It looks like he's sliding and losing the car all over the place. So one of the woes of sim racing, unfortunately, when someone has a bit of a dodgy connection.
Last lap then up towards Clearways. This is Simon Field's last opportunity to try and get past Smolensky. He's going to try around the outside, but I don't think he's going to do it. Meanwhile, Jamie Rushworth is going to come through and take his 2nd win of the season, Andrew.
Indeed he will. So Race Hub with CQR improving their start to the season and a win for Jamie Rushworth. With Richard Gore a great 2nd, Jamie Fluke in 3rd, Alex Smolensky an excellent drive again from him from 9th to 4th, Simon Field 5th from 12th on the grid. Liam Atkins, great to see him mixing it with the big boys up there in 6th. Ross Balfour, again impressive in 7th. Not so much his internet connection at least. Look at that. Ben Hackerson in 8th, 9th Philip Johansson, 10th George Simmons. There's all sorts going on there at the back. And in the midfield, 20th.
Yeah, Shellback's off.
20th down to 37th, covered by 7 seconds, Adam.
I think, yes, exactly, almost similar times between the 1st and 20th place cars. I think it was 16 seconds in race 1, 17 in race 2. So it's still...
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, it's still very close at the front. And in fact, 0.02 of a second separated Michael Hall and Jerome Kaiser. Now, Kaiser's used to close finishes. He had 0.01 of a second to get his win at Silverstone during the Winter Series. But yeah, 0.02 of a second separating the 25th and 26th place cars. And that could be crucial when the reverse grid comes up.
Yeah, and just looking at your favourite stat there about the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 7 drivers who started in the top 10, finished in the top 10 there. And Alex, that kind of illustrates the just what you were saying there.
Traffic jam in the pits.
Oh, what's going on?
Like the M25 at rush hour.
Imagine if we're using that chicane to get into the pits.
Like the M25 at rush hour, albeit with much less damaged cars.
Yeah.
Goodness me. When you're looking at all these cars coming in, Adam, you just see how much bumping and banging there has been out there.
There's not too many clean cars, that has to be said, really, because it's all bumper to bumper, once, especially in the corners like Druids and Clearways. Well, let's run you through the finishing order then from the second race of the evening. We're still losing our breath here. We've got 2 more races to go, of course. Jamie Rushworth wins by 2.5 seconds over Richard Gore. Jamie Fluke in 3rd, 4th, Alex Smolensky 5th, Simon Field. And those cars that finished 3rd, 4th and 5th, they've had to do their whole load of overtaking. Jamie Fluke, Smolensky and Field started 8th, 9th and 12th respectively. Liam Atkins finished in 6th, 7th, Ross Balfour, 8th, Ben Hackerson, 9th, Philip Johansson and 10th, George Simmons, 11th, Pete Newman from 4th on the grid, 12th, Stelin Chepelevsky, 13th for Andreas Katz, 14th for Michael Shellback, 15th for Colin Cunniff, 16th for Russell Laidler, 17th Paul Smith, 18th Laura Bond, 19th David Baker from 31st and 20th Robert Graham. 21st in the end was Sebastian Jobe. He didn't have too much luck there, wasn't able to fight his way through from 20th on the grid. Andrew Brown in 22nd. Dan Hunt 21st, Rob Plumley 24th, 25th Michael Hall, 26th Jerome Kaiser, 27th Roy Ververke, 28th John Roberts, 29th Jay Wright and 30th Steve Richardson, 31st Jack McIntyre, 32nd Dan Kraft, 33rd Wojciech Savinovic getting turned around there in the opening lap or so. Steve Heppard, 34th, 35th Matt Bunn, 36th Diogo Melro, 37th Dan Blake, 38th Ashley Blake Hood from 45th, 39th Scott Malcolm, 40th Michael Blake, 41st Nathaniel Simpson, 42nd Stuart Atkinson, 43rd Max Wright, 44th Craig Evans, 45th Lorne Murray, and then the cars 1 lap down or more. Andrew Whitehead, 46th, he'll still be eligible for the reverse grid, and then Kip Stevens got turned around by Jamie Rushworth in that crucial move for the lead. 48th Ken Bracey, 49th Cesaro Rizzo, and then Nick McCarron and Julian Janowski got turned around at the start.
Right, just having a quick look just there as well, just to mention, Steve Hefford was 50th on the grid and he finished 34th in a race with only 6 retirements, so I think that calls for a pat on the back there for Steve, considering as well he got hit by a couple of people during that race as well. Well done to him. Right then, Alex, so the reverse grid wheel beckons for the second time, so let's have a quick look then at the competitors. We're 16th on down, aren't we now?
Indeed.
So 16th is Russell Laidler, 17th Paul Smith, 18th Laura Bond, 19th Dave Baker, 20th Robert Graham, 21st Sebastian Jobe, 22nd Andrew Brown, 23rd Daniel Hunt, 24th Rob Plumley, 25th Michael Hall and 26th Jeroen Kaiser.
And if it's a full, we've got Andrew Whitehead.
Oh yes indeed, 46th place. Please be full, come on.
No, it's gone again, I'm afraid.
Boo.
Oh, even smaller this time, I feel. Yeah, 17th it's going to end up.
Well,
we
Paul
just missed
Smith's
the full.
Paul Smith's going to be happy. He's on pole position.
There you go.
With Russell Laidler 2nd, Colin Cunniff 3rd, Shellback 4th, and Andreas Katz in 5th.
You finally found the Paul Smith button, Alex, that I've been telling you to install for weeks. So yeah, the Paul Smith button works, and he will start on the Yorkshireman. Moves to pole position, which is always good to see. It's always good to see a Yorkshireman on pole position, let's face it. Rusty Laidler is in 2nd, Colin Cunniff 3rd, Michael Shellback in 4th, and 5th will be Andreas Katz. And again, Sebastian Jobe misses out on the reverse grid, and Baker. Well, some people are... These reverse grids, Adam, what they are doing is it's not helping some people who've had quite shoddy nights up to now.
Yeah, and this could be crucial for the championship. I know we're only in race 10, and about to start race 11 of the season, but these reverse grids, if they don't work for you, that could have been a win for Baker, perhaps, if he had been put on reverse grid ball. The same for Sebastian Jobe, and maybe even Dan Hunt, who's had a quiet start to the season. So these reverse grids, when they don't work in your favour, you're facing yourself, facing a whole load of cars in front of you. at the start of a race, and as we've seen tonight, overtaking is not really high.
Whole load of cars in your way, whole load of problems. No problems at all though for Simon Field, as he continues his very, very strong start to the season and holds a 21-point lead after 10 races out of 132, I must point out. Richard Gore is in third, as my broadcast partner chuckles. It's ridiculous, isn't it, mate? The amount of races we have here.
So long to go.
So long to go. But Richard Gore, an AM driver, in third overall. Wojciech Swidovic in fourth. Poor performance from him in that race. Well, a bit unlucky, really, in terms of got hit off the track there. Ross Balfour up in fifth. Providing he sorts his internet out, he may be there at the end of the night. Smolenski in sixth. Jamie Fluke seventh. Mikhail Shellback eighth. Ben Hackerson ninth. And Liam Atkins' strong performance lifts him up into the top 10, Adam. Very good.
Yeah, very good start from them. And just to say, the Pro-Am drivers are really up their game as well.
There's almost more Pro-Am drivers in the top 20 than there are Pro drivers.
Yeah, not only are we seeing that, we're also seeing a Pro-Am team leading the Teams Championship in Apex Racing.
Yeah, and I'm not at all sorry about that. So, on that bombshell, I'm carrying on into race 3. We've got 2 more races left tonight. So, of course, for everybody watching on Motors TV, iRacing Live, and of course Apex Racing TV, stick with us. We've still got half the night's action to come from Brands Hatch in the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Stick with us.
I'm Eric Hudek. I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
in this place is gonna party.
And we're back at the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship from Brands Hatch in England. It's round 11 of 132. We're here on iRacing Live, Apex Racing TV, and of course, internationally on Motors TV. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, as it has been all season, of course, and as it will continue to be, I hope. Alex Simpson joins me, along with Adam Bath. And Alex, I'll bring you in first, mate. We've got over 50 cars again for this one. The reverse grids, they've been pretty small this evening. But we've got one of our colleagues on pole position in Paul Smith.
Yeah, I think we'll take that. Like you say, pretty small reverse grids all night, and we'll see what comes out for the last race. Hopefully, we'll get a full just to cap it all off. But yeah, Paul Smith up on pole position. He's had a pretty rough season. I don't think he'll mind me saying so. So hopefully, this will kickstart it somewhat for him.
Adam, I'm not going to make you go through the whole grid, so just give us the top 15 or so.
Okay, yeah, so we've got about 30 seconds. We'll see what we can fit in. Paul Smith's on pole, Russell Laidler second, Colin Cunniff third, Michael Shellback fourth, Andreas fifth. Sixth is Stelian Shepalevsky, who lost a bit of gap to Simon Field in the championship standings after race 2. Seventh, Pete Newman. Eighth, George Simmons. Ninth, Philip Johansson. 12th, Ben Hackerson. 11th, Ross Balfour. 12th, Liam Atkins. 13th, Simon Field. 14th, Alex Smolensky. 15th, Jamie Fluke. 16th, Richard Gore. And then 17th is our race 2 winner, Jamie Rushworth.
Alright, thanks very much for that. So we're going to see now, once again, 50 Kia Optimas bursting into life. And the green light is on. What a good start by Rusty Laidler. He's going round the outside of Paul Smith in that bright yellow CQR car of Smith. Laidler goes a little bit wide. Smith still has the inside line and into Druids. He knows he's going to have to make this stick if he's going to mount any challenge for the race victory. Paul Smith goes into Druids. And can he keep it? Yes, he can. Well done. And Rusty Laidler in second place. Colin Cunniff is in P4. But your colleague on a Sunday night, Adam, doing well so far.
Might get to actually lead a lap, actually, as we head up towards the top of the hill at Clearways. Down the inside he goes.
There's a bit of a concertina there at Clearways, almost. It's so difficult, Alex, to run in such close quarters here when you've got cars very close in the front and behind.
Well, I think we've seen this all night long, haven't we? So, and I'm not surprised that we see, like you said, the concertina effect, and I think every start we've had so far has been like that. Who's that just running out wide? I think that was Simon Field just out and into the gravel. He's going to get passed by
it's the
Smolensky. So it was Balfour, sorry, and it was Smolensky that was going through.
Smolensky goes off, and that's going to allow the Apex Racing car to get alongside. Smolensky's going to have to slot back up on the outside and down the inside there. Goes Jamie Fluke and
there's a lot of room there, and Smolensky is wide, and he just about gathers it all back together through Clearways, doesn't go off the track, lives to fight another day.
Credit to these guys, we've been a fantastic job of not causing just huge incidents tonight, and that was nearly one there with Richard Gore.
Smolensky there, not giving any margin. He's outbraked himself, has he? No, he's going for the cutback.
He won't be happy with that, as it's the second time he's been hit by Jamie tonight as well.
Crash at Druids, and there's a CQR car off.
Cannonballage there.
And it's the green one with the green on the bottom. That is Liam Atkins. He's trying to get back on.
They've all survived, I think, but look how it's bunched up. Look how it's bunched up that field. Alex, you can barely see anything all the way back to Graham Hill Bend.
That's crazy. It's just don't know where to look at the minute, where to point the camera. Get it all.
Cars everywhere. We need bigger cameras. Over the start-finish straight then. Goes Jamie Fluke battling with Jamie Rushworth. Fluke,
there's more contact there.
Almost disaster there for Rushworth.
Johansson's just been passed by Simon Field, the championship leader, continuing to fight his way through. I think that's up inside the top 10 now. In front of him, it's Ben Hackerston. Those two have literally been battling since the first lap of the first race of the night.
Michael Hall and Robert Graham. Andrew Brown taking a detour just in front of them. The Grip TV car, the privateer.
Smith's on wide, and Laidler Shellback is through. We'll see if Smith's able to hang it out round the outside. He's going to cut back in and get the slipstream, but Shellback is now in the lead. He so nearly took a race victory at Daytona last season, and now he could be about to take his first win, I think, in the series. But Smith's going to try and wrestle it back.
He's going to wrestle with the gravel trap there a little bit, Paul Smith. And if he wins this race, you're not going to hear the end of this, Adam, on Sunday night.
Definitely not. Heading down towards Graham Hill Bend then.
I'm just getting him back for what he said about me last week.
Well, yeah.
saying that we'll never hear the end of it if I manage to win the race. Well, that'll be pigs flying when that happens.
Up towards Clearways then. Lap 5 of 19. Cunniff trying to hold off Andreas Katz, who took the first race of the night earlier on. He's already up inside, or is inside the top 5, trying to get a podium result here in the third race of the evening. And it's Laidler, then it's Simmons, then it's Hackerson, and Field, and then Johansson under pressure from Ross Balfour. Balfour looking this way and that. His connection seems to have been a bit better than it was earlier. Look at that fluke down the inside of the other Simpson Racing car there. That is Pete Newman.
That's good driving, Alex, from Fluke. He could have easily understeered into the former Pete Newman media team owner, now Simpson Racing.
Yeah, just about completes the parts as well. Just seeing how that panned out. Pete got a lot of damage on his car as well, so not quite sure where he picked all that up, but yeah, it looks very battered.
Everybody's still running. Look at that.
Oh, crashed and it's Smolensky getting hit again. Yeah, I was just about to say we could have a 50-car reverse split then, but Smolensky's under pressure. Rushworth, yeah.
Stamp on the brakes, and here comes Sebastian Chobe, teammate of Alexander Smolensky, reigning champion, of course, #1 plate on the car.
Up towards Paddock Hill Bend, down the inside he goes to Smolensky. Is he going to hold it? Yes, he does. And look in the background, we've got Spicer Hart car, Laura Bond, Euroship Digital car via Jerome Kaiser. We've got David Baker and Smolensky down the inside.
Of his teammate, he never really likes to give his teammates a lot of room.
Not a word in his dictionary.
Other competitors there, Adam. Gets a good run through Graham Hill Bend. He's got a chance here of getting up the inside, but it's very, very tricky here. Tough set of corners, this. Surtees, and then what? McLaren, I think.
Oh, he's around the outside of Bond.
Yes.
And the Automech car gets hit into there just behind him. That was Dan Crafts getting into the back of Rob Graham. But yeah, and Jerome Kaiser now in the slipstream.
Nearly hit the Grip TV car as well of Andrew Brown. As that's Wojciech Svidovic, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, trying to get past the Automech car. And that's behind.
Oh, round the outside.
And round the outside goes
man, off goes Kraft.
That shouldn't be too much damage, I hope not anyway. But he's going to have to wait.
Oh, that's well played by
patience.
him. He got that back on.
Oh, he's still waiting.
He got that back on extremely well, did Daniel Kraft. He could have easily caused a big pile up there.
Oh, and Cunniff.
Yep.
Colin Cunniff has just been passed by Chepalevsky. I think that was a bit forceful there. And now Colin Cunniff's going to lose another position to Russell Laidler. So the two Alfa Alatech cars get past, and that's going to allow the higher collecting motorsport car alongside and possibly through. That is George Simmons. So Colin Cunniff has lost about 4 positions there.
Yeah, no Rayoff fella actually for the second week in a row, but his sponsored team doing exceptionally well, and those brown cars, it's very similar as we said to the UPS cars of old. They're putting up a really good showing so far this season, Adam.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job. We'll see where they are in the team's championship, but they're definitely coming on strong here. Them and RaceHub really need to get some points on the board, because RaceHub have had a whole load of penalties and incidents since they took 3 race victories out of 4 at Phillip Island to start the season. But here comes Andreas Katz on Paul Smith. Over the line we go, onto lap 10. Smith covering the inside line. Katz going to go to the outside. Slightly
borderline there from Smith. I think he looked like he went one way and then possibly went to the other. He's going to have to cover the inside. And he manage to block off the season 3 and 8 champion? Yes, he does.
Katz has to get on the brakes there almost.
Good work by Paul Smith. It was very hard defending, but he knows what this second place is going to mean for both him and for the CQR Academy team.
Yeah, of course, he's over 100 points behind Richard Gore, who's leading the Prime Championship, so this will help enormously if he's able to stay in this second position.
Paul Smith, of course, multiple-time race winner. Andreas Katz, multiple-time series champion. And they've got behind them another multiple winner, Alex Stelin Chepalevsky. Saw how quick he was in race 1. Will he be able to get the move done on Andreas Katz this time around?
Yeah, has a lurk, but nothing this time. So I think
great
comeback. Katz is going to go through surely.
Yeah, well alongside this time.
Late on the brakes.
Smith squeezes. He tried to cut off Chepalevsky. Chepalevsky going through as well. He's got to run. Smith will still be on the inside further than.
Yeah, that's nice driving.
That's brilliant, that's forceful.
Yeah, that's good. Runs him out wide.
That's a clean move by Smith, and that's allowed Laidler, I think, isn't it, to try and get through on Trepelowski. Oh, and shoving George Simmons off the track.
And that means
Rusty Laidler, and in that car that almost from a distance looks like the old Pete Newman Media car there, Adam.
Yeah, almost with those yellow things at the bottom, I should say. As we come across the line onto lap 12, that's almost as bad as me calling New Homes Digital Homes Technology or something. And Smith. Oh dear me, Smith getting close to the back, close to the side of that Alfa Alizet car of Trepelowski.
New digital technology or something it was, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. Alex, save us from this madness. What you got for us?
Yeah, well, Trepelowski up and past Smith. Let's just take a look a little bit further back. Johansson having a good battle with Gore as well at the moment. They've got Sebastian just behind. That's a crazy little pack. Oh, Gore off and onto the grass. Doesn't affect him. It's good job we weren't doing the GP circuit there, as he'd been well on the brakes, and that back end would have been all over the place.
Former teammate Sebastian Job trying to get past him.
See if Gore can mount a challenge on that Johansson, isn't it? In that engine or direct car.
Just cuts up a second, by the way, so we'll see how quick he's able to get after Michael Schellbach. But yeah, this battle between Sebastian... Oh, and it's all going off in that battle for third again. Laidler trying to get past Simmons, and Cunniff trying to get past Smith, and there's contact.
Oh, and that is going to allow...
Simmons through, yeah.
Yeah, Simmons to get through pretty easily there. Colin Cunniff trying to plot how to get past Paul Smith. Paul Smith in P4 would still be an excellent result.
Just want to have a look a little bit further down. Michael Hall, Dan Hunt, they're side by side at the moment as well. That's for 24th and 25th place.
Barely seen Dan Hunt tonight, Alex, I guess.
Rob Plumley just behind them as well. Let's have a look a little further down as well. Kip Stevens, Andrew Whitehead, they're just separated by a couple of tenths of a second. Michael Blake just behind him as well, so a lot of little individual battles going on out there further down as well.
That's a race winner and a former champion, Alex, battling over P39.
Crazy.
And Stevens is going to go through as Whitehead runs wide. He had a little slide into Paddock Hill Bend. And Kip Stevens, oh well, maybe not. Whitehead's all the way around the outside. Stevens is going to cut him off at the pass, I think, there. So good driving from Kip there. He saw what was happening and he took advantage. He's having an awful season, but that'll be something at least that he can smile about, no doubt.
It's crazy how the leaders are just about to go up to Druids, and those guys are on their way down towards the final section of the lap. Lap 15 then, Andreas Katz is actually coming under pressure from Stelian Trepelowski, so he hasn't been able to get after Michael Schellbach too quickly. In fact, Schellbach was lapping quicker than Andreas Katz. Smith is in fourth, still soaking up the pressure from Colin Cunniff, and here comes Cunniff now.
And now,
down the inside, he's going to go in towards McLaren's. Through 30s first, they must go. Smith goes all over the curbs.
He's got it still. He still has the line, Smith. And Cunniff, who can get the power unwound the quickest. Oh, it's very close.
That's
Smith's on the inside. He's really good, but he's got to complete the second part as well, Alex, into Paddock Hill. This is the hard part. Cuts across almost. And Smith barely given an inch, but Cunniff is through. Wonderful move by the Scotsman. And he keeps it into Druids. Lovely, lovely, lovely driving by the Friction Racing driver.
It's now going to open it up for Smith, Alex.
Yeah, Smith, unfortunately. Simmons through as well.
This could be trouble for...
This is what we were talking about earlier on. When you get offline, you get freight train back a little bit. But Smith manages to duck back in, so just the 2 places lost, 4 laps to go.
Needs to do like what we said earlier on with Smolenski. He needs to look forward now instead of back. And he needs to keep pushing. Pete Newman in P12 has got a big angle behind him, actually. Oh man, it's huge. Johansson, Gore, Job, Smolenski, Rushworth, Baker, Bond and Savidovic and Kaiser. It's like an all-star race.
A second
pack in the middle.
A second separating those 6, heading up towards Druids down the inside. There goes the sim racer car on number 6. That's
actually Rushworth. That's actually Rushworth going round the outside of Smolenski, Adam.
Oh, so that's a good move then from Jamie Rushworth. Not often you see a move done round the outside of Druids. Rushworth having a little look back down into Surtees.
Oh,
Gets his nose in there nearly.
yeah, and that must have been, Alex, that must have been Rushworth's spotter just saying he's on the inside there, because you can see that little manic twitch by Rushworth.
Jamie Fluke and Hackerson as well, just a tenth of a second separating those.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a chance for Fluke to get up the inside.
Smith still having to defend
brakes
as well. So 2 battles in this pack here. Down the inside goes the Apex car, and Paul Smith's going to lose a position to Russell Lader, it looks like, into Grant Hill. Bender gets a knock by Simon Field.
Hit by Field, and there's Fluke trying to get past Simmons. Sorry, not Simmons, Hackerson, sorry. That's the second of the Eclectic Motorsport cars. Chepelevsky's about 2 tenths behind Andreas Katz, and he's got 1 lap to go if he's going to try and make it past the German driver.
So it's a replay of almost race 1. However, they're not fighting over the race lead this time. Chepelevsky 47.3, Katz 47.3. So Katz seems to have restored parity here.
Katz a little wide through Paddock Hill, and it's just enough for Chepelevsky to get a sniff. But I don't think he's going to be able to make the move now, as we're going to watch Michael Schellbach, who has had a great race. He started in 4th position. He started behind Smith, Laidler and Colin Cunniff. No one's going to be ahead of him now, as he comes out of clearways for the final time. And for the first time this season, it's Michael Schellbach who takes the checkered flag, and he wins round 11 of the season in front of Andreas Katz and Stelian Chepelevsky. Colin Cunniff just takes 3rd over Simmons, and then it's Laidler from Smith, Field, Hackerson and Fluke. Separated those 4 drivers, Alex, 6 tenths of a second between them, and it's still going on, I think, at the very back.
Yeah, just watching them all flow across the line right now. It's
crazy.
Look
at this. 3 wide across the line here.
Here we go.
It's Eclectic, I think, just. Is that Liam Atkins fighting away? This was over 40 or 40 seconds. It was Whitehead that came across the line first, then Atkins, then Janowski in that Alfa Latek car.
Janowski's had a poor meeting, hasn't he, after starting off so well, having such a great winter series. He's down in 30th in the championship this season. So, one of my dark horses, I must say, for the championship is has not left the stable yet, Alex, I don't think.
No, it just seems to be struggling just to get it together, and just not been there today. I don't know if there's been an issue with practice time or anything like that, but just not there this week.
And I have to say, 51 started, 50 finished. That's fantastic driving by everybody involved, and that's probably one of the best things I've seen in the BSRTC. It was pretty clean, it was fair, it was fast, and that is exactly what sim racing's all about. It's none of these console idiots crashing into each other on a regular basis. You've got skilled talent, and you've got great action and fair action as well.
Well done to Alfa Latek, of course, their first win in the BSRTC. Only took them 11 tries, and already up there. And Michael Schellbach adds to another new name on the winner list this season. That's running through the finishing order then from this 3rd race. Of course, we've got 1 more to go after this. Let's hope we can get a full reverse grid. Imagine that, 50 cars reversed. I'm sure Michael Schellbach and Andreas Katz will be very happy, but Schellbach takes the win. Andreas Katz 2nd, Stelian Chepelevsky in 3rd, Colin Cunniff 4th, George Simmons 5th, Russell Laidler in 6th, 7th Paul Smith, 8th Simon Field, 9th Ben Hackerson, and 10th it is Jamie Fluke. 11th finished Ross Balfour, 12th Pete Newman, 13th Philip Johansson, 14th Richard Gore, 15th Sebastian Job. From 21st on the grid, that's quite a bit of progress there. 16th Jamie Rushworth, 17th Alex Malensky, 18th David Baker. That back of the grid penalty, I think he's still suffering there, and it's taken him 3 races to work his way up to 18th place. Wojciech Savidovic finished 19th, 20th Laura Bond, 21st Sharon Kaiser, 22nd Andrew Brown, 23rd was Michael Hall, 24th Dan Hunt, 25th Rob Plumley, 26th Robert Graham, 27th Roy Ververke, 28th Jack McIntyre, 29th Steve Hefford, 30th Matt Bunn, 31st Dan Blake, 32nd Steve Richardson, 33rd Ashley Blake Hood, 34th John Roberts, 25th Diogo Melro, 36th Scott Malcolm, 37th Craig Evans, 38th Nathaniel Simpson, 39th, Kip Stevens. 40th, Andrew Whitehead. 41st, Liam Atkins. 42nd, Julian Janowski. 43rd, Nick McCarron. 44th, Michael Blake. 45th, Max Wright. 46th, Lorne Murray. 47th, Stuart Atkinson. 48th, Cesario Rizzo, his first race that he hasn't started from the pit lane from. And then 49th is Jay Wright. 50th, the last car running, was Ken Bracey, and Dan Craft finished 12 laps down. And really, if Dan Craft hadn't spun at us, if Dan Craft hadn't had that contact heading out of Paddock Hill Bend, we would have had all cars finishing.
Not sure we've ever had every car finish the race, Adam. I don't know if that's a stat that you may have. I think we had one retirement in one of the races, possibly at Spa last year. I think we had 50 cars start that one, but Alex, what an advert for sim racing, mate. 50 cars finishing the race.
46 seconds separating them.
All on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So it just goes to show when there's not the instance there, everybody just stays bunched up, and we saw battles throughout. Couldn't keep an eye on all of it, unfortunately. We tried to jump back and see some little individual battles going on out there, but it's so tough to follow. But yeah, like you say, what a great advert. And of course, let's not forget, this will be on Motors TV in about 4 weeks time?
Yeah.
5 weeks time, something like that, by the time the edit's done and it actually gets on there as well. So, and yeah, of course, it follows follows the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series. That's also made its debut on Motors TV now.
This is better, of course.
Naturally.
So I've seen some drivers complaining. I'm not going to name names. Somebody complained on the chat that you can't overtake here. Make something happen. Other people have. Make something happen. You know, capitalise on the mistakes. Do something, because don't complain about it. Just get on with it, is what I say. It's the same for everybody else. It is a hard track to pass on. But, you know, if you either have a crash or you have a bad qualifying or even a penalty from the previous race, well, if you've got a penalty from the previous race and you're languishing at the bottom of the standings in the next 3 races, well, it's your own fault. So there you go. That's just my 2 cents on that one. But we'll be back for some more.
Oh, reverse grid, Andrew.
We will be back for a reverse grid, is what I was going to say. We need a reverse grid. Come on.
Okay, cars eligible 16 down to 26. Please. Or if we get the full, we will have 50 cars reversed, and that will put Ken Bracey onto pole position. But let's have a look at the cars.
Oh, here, Michael Shellback. Here's your reward for winning a race. You're starting 50th next time.
You wouldn't even be able to see the lights. Well, 16 down to 26. Here we go. Jamie Rushworth, Alex Smolensky, David Baker will be desperate for a reverse grid pole. 19th will be Savidovic, 20th. Laura Bonds, 21, Sharon Kaiser, 22, Andrew Brown, 23, and Michael Hall, 24, Dan Hunt, 25, Rob Lumley, 26, Rob Graham, or 50, which will be Ken Bracey. Over to you, Alex.
Well, here we go then, for the third and final time for the night.
Please be full.
Not going to get round. Oh, it could be. It's reasonable though. Oh, will it make 26? No chance. 21st place. Still pretty reasonable reverse.
Well, Sharon Kaiser will be happy. Either way, he's on pole position, and he was saying to us he wasn't really enjoying it after the penalty incidents at Watkins Glen last time, so he's going to be on pole position. Laura Bond second. Wojciech Savidovic in third, so he'll be back up there. David Baker will be very happy. 4th place on the grid, and Alex Smolensky will be in 5th.
It's funny, you see all those names at the front. Sharon Kaiser, Laura Bond, Wojciech Savidovic, Dave Baker, Smolensky, Rushworth, Job.
That's like your normal qualifying, but here it's a reverse grid.
Yeah, and you go, what a race that is. These are people who finished down 15th to 21st place in the last race. This is how much this series has come on, because, Alex, I reckon when we started covering this series, you would have put money on those guys being at the top in pretty much every race.
Pretty much, and we did see them at the top pretty much every race. That's the thing. So,
how good is this field now? It's amazing.
It just keeps getting better and better and better, and more people want to get in on it. And with this being only this was the first series to be on TV as well, and the prize pool that's up for grabs. This is every bit as big advert for sim racing as the World Championship Series, and I don't say that lightly, being that I drive in that series, but it gets a point where even I and the team have to start thinking, well, hold on, maybe not the Blancpain, maybe the BSR Pro Series needs to be the one that we need to focus on, and
we'll
maybe
get
not
you
the
in
World
the
Championship, maybe
we'll get
this.
You in the gear someday.
I'm in the booth. That's fine. I'll do my thing here.
Adam, that's the sound of a man who wants to avoid the Kia at all costs.
I think so, yeah.
We'll still have to ransom him into a race at some point. We'll get him. We will get him. Right, Club Series, Alex. There's your challenge, mate. Club Series race. There you go.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yes, Adam.
one more race then.
Oh, this has been great. I have to say, this has been really, really good. And I've been so pleased with the standard of driving, which means it'll probably go all down the toilet in the 4th race. So join us again after the break for more action from Brands Hatch in the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We'll be back on Apex Racing TV right after this.
I'm Eric Hudek. I'm a engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch for the final race of the evening. It's a little rushed here at the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson with you. And Adam, I'm going to ask you if we can take us quickly through the top few positions on the grid for this third reverse grid race of the evening as we finally get the grid up there.
Yeah, so we sadly didn't get the full one. Hopefully when we get to a grid as big as this further down in the year, we'll have an even bigger one. So Jerome Kaiser on pole position. Took a win in the Winter Series. We'll see if he can take one here. Laura Bond in second, still desperate for a win. Savinovic third. David Baker fourth. Finally, he's got a good grid and hopefully he can add to that one win he took earlier in the season at Phillip Island. Alex Smolensky 5th, Jamie Rushworth 6th, Sebastian Jobe 7th, Richard Gore in 8th, Philip Johansson 9th, Pete Newman 10th, 11th, Ross Balfour 12th, Jamie Fluke 13th, Ben Hackerson 14th, it is Simon Field 15th, Paul Smith 16th, Russell Laidler 17th, George Simmons 18th, Colin Cunniff 19th, Selian Chepalevsky, and rounding out the top 20 is Andreas Katz.
And the winner of race 3, Michael Shellback, in 21st as well, so look out for him. He's in around some company. Andrew Brown, Michael Hall, Daniel Hunt, some of those guys in there, very, very experienced, as we're ready now for the red lights to come on any second here at Brands Hatch. And the green light is on, and once again this very difficult start is undertaken by 50 Kia Optima drivers, and a brilliant start from your own Kaiser for Eurochip Digital! Oh, goodness me! Sideways slide from your own Kaiser, but look who's into P2, it's his teammate Wojciech Savinovic, and Laura Bonds are on the outside of David Baker, but I think Baker's going to get through, so already it's Kaiser from Savinovic, from Baker, from Bond, and then it's Jobe through on Baker, look at that.
Well, Savinovic got sideways and that's going to open the door for Jamie Rushworth to have a look down the inside into Surtees, and Savinovic's tyre still on up to temperature. He slides wide. I hear contacts in the background. I don't know if it's him being involved.
There was a crash of Druids, I think Kraft, Atkinson and Laidler.
There's a car on its roof. It's a Spicer Heart car, Rob Plumley.
And Murray dropping down. Yep.
Over the line then, Kaiser leads. He didn't have the embarrassment that he had at Summit Point, where he spun whilst leading under the safety car, but he nearly had it here, where he went into the gravel into turn 1, but he leads this first lap. Savinovic second, third. So he goes wide!
Here comes the change. That's the change for position that Eurochip Digital want, I think. But Kaiser's going to have to make sure that he keeps it from Jamie Rushworth, and he hasn't, and that's a mistake.
Sebastian Jobe getting into the back of Laura Bond, and now he's going to lose a position to David Baker, sorry. So round the outside goes Baker, Sebastian Jobe losing a position there.
Because what's the golden rule, Alex? If you're going to do a change for position between teammates, don't lose another place.
No, absolutely that. He needed to stay in front of Jamie to hold him off, and you have to feel that Rushworth definitely has the ability to go after Wojciech here and perhaps go and get a win.
Taking a win already tonight, Jamie Rushworth.
No one's won 3 races this season. We'll see if he's able to do it here in this race. And Savinovic, of course, will be going for his 3rd win of the season as well. So they'll be eager to get those wins on the board. Of course, they matter in terms of points for the showdown, which is still a very long way away.
Of Jamie Fluke took a couple of wins last year. Of course, this is all part last week. Sorry, not last year. And this is all part of the great action we see here on iRacing. And Alex, of course, World Championship driver in this discipline. Let us know how you can get started in this great sport of sim racing.
Yeah, head on over to iRacing.com, use the promotion code PR-BSRTC, get 3 months for the price of 1. All you need is a simple wheel and pedal set along with a PC, and you can get up and running in just a short sec. All self-installed, updates are all automatic, and you can join us in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship by heading over to BritishSimRacers.com as well, and you can sign up for the league too.
Loads of free content as well, and some premium content. Buy what you need. We recommend stick with one car. Buy the things you need for that first season. If you like it, obviously carry on and climb the ladder all the way up to Pro and World Championship level as Wojciech Savinovic then. Speaking of champions, Savinovic and Rushworth then fighting amongst themselves for the lead of this 4th race at Brands. And here comes Rushworth. Is he going to have a look into Druids? Is Savinovic going to run wide? No, he doesn't. And good driving from the Eurochip digital driver ahead of the race hub with CQR man, Jamie Rushworth. They've got a 1.5 second lead over Jeroen Kaiser, who, it has to be said, must be feeling a tiny bit sheepish, Adam, in terms of that slightly botched positional change, which has put his teammate under pressure.
It just didn't work, did it? And now he's having to hold off pressure from the sim racer car. Wojciech Savidovic has already won here twice in his BSR TC career. Jamie Rushworth only once. Over the line we go then to start lap 6. There's so many battles here. The cars are all right with each other, even closer than we've seen so far tonight. Across the line they go. Rushworth going to go around the outside of Savidovic into turn 1. He slides the car and unfortunately loses that speed.
That's just where he did that before, of course. And here comes Sebastian Job up the inside of Jeroen Kaiser, so he's going to now try and make that a three-way dance at the front. Little triple threat, if you will, is Laura Bond going side by side with Alexander Smolenski after Baker managed to make his way past the Spicer Hart driver.
And that's the sim racer car up a position, now the engine or direct car of Philip Johansson, who's had a very good race meeting here tonight, trying to get past Laura Bond up to clearways. Oh, he gets hit from the friction car of that's Ross Balfour, and that's going to allow the number 29 Apex Racing car of Jamie Fluke around the outside.
And Gore close behind as well, so Apex Racing UK on the prowl here. The Apex Racing Academy cars.
Here comes Rushworth for the lead once again on lap 7. Looks at the inside, Savidovic covers it into Druids.
It's going to be a battle, I feel, that's going to rage for the whole race. Sebastian Job defending hard from Jeroen Kaiser. And then it's David Baker. Alexander Smolenski is in 6th place. And Laura Bond in 7th.
2 packs forming then. We've got those 2 at the front. And then after that it's Sebastian Job leading Kaiser, Baker, Smolenski, Bond. And then after that it's Johansson leading Ross Balfour, who's trying to get past him. Then it's Fluke.
What's that? Shellback and catch, is it?
Yeah, side by side.
Did I read your mind there, mate?
Yeah, you did.
A little bit, Shellback and catch. Laura Bond,
a bit further behind as well. Great little bout further behind.
Dan Hunt, Andrew Brown, Pete Newman, Colin Cunniff, Jack McIntyre and Steve Hefford all battling away here across the line.
Was it Andrew Brown who won at Bathurst?
It was, yep.
So
Stevens around the outside TV. Of McIntyre as well. It's gonna have to go all the way around the outside here if he's gonna make it stick.
That's Hefford, Alex, I think.
So you're right, sorry. Yep,
that's Hefford on McIntyre. Hefford making it happen, making it work there. Good work there. Laura Bond actually recently celebrated 300 BSR TC races. And here comes Jamie Rushworth, try and ruin the party for Wojciech Savidovic, who's had an up and down meeting today. Oh, good line from Rushworth, but not close enough. Good speed carried by Wojciech through Paddock Hill Bend. It's so difficult when the car's placed perfectly here at Brands Hatch to force the way through, Adam, isn't it?
It's just really difficult, yeah, and Rushworth, it doesn't matter what line he takes, Savidovic has just got enough of the power up the hill towards Druids that he can't get it done. Let's see if he can get it done here now. Through Surtees and McLarens and up towards Clearways. Rushworth will close in under braking.
Let's go. Oh, off! Off goes
Chippy.
I think that's Chepelevsky into the fence.
And a problem for a Eurochip car, that's Andreas
no, don't
Katz.
do that!
It's got to do a 3-point. It's got to do a 3-point turn with traffic coming as well.
It's
right.
brave, but to be fair to him on that one, he hasn't lost that many spots compared to what he could have done, I think.
And
he's down
39th.
39th, but it could have been 42nd, so he's lost most of the places, hasn't he? Chepelevsky on that occasion. Savidovic continues to lead, but he's under a lot of pressure. It just seems like those Eurochip digital cars, Alex, maybe don't quite have the pace of the race hub or the Alphalatech cars as we go through.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, they seem to they've done a great job all night long. Actually, the Eurochip guys, and they just always seem to be under pressure when they are out front. You know, it's Katz earlier on with Chepelevsky, and now it's Savidovic with Rushworth.
It's not that they're not quick, but they maybe just don't have the ultimate quickest package, but they do have some of the best drivers, Adam, and that really does tell. Although, really, you're splitting hairs between Savidovic and Rushworth.
Yeah,
on Kaiser. Sorry, guys, to interrupt you. Just gets the move done though. So late on the brakes. Good job.
And Field through on Balfour.
So Smolenski through into 5th.
Balfour through on Field. Sorry.
Yeah, Balfour past Field. Field doesn't look like he's going to be set on that. Johansson behind.
Yeah, that's Johansson that's actually dropped down to the back of that little group. And look at that battle with Andrew Brown, Katz, Newman, Cunniff, Hefford, McIntyre and Stevens. That's a cracking little battle there. And the 13 of John Roberts too. We haven't seen much of John Roberts tonight at all.
Andrew Brown and Katz. Katz trying to go around the outside. Into Paddock Hill Bend onto lap 12 now.
They get the cut back. And he undercut Andrew Brown. That's nicely judged by Andreas Katz.
Up to the top of the hill then at Druids, and Brown gives him the space, and Katz is down the inside, so that's Katz through into 17th place.
I don't know if he's completed it yet though.
No, it's not over.
Brown.
Whoa.
Oh, lucky. Good attempt by Andrew Brown there, but he's now going to be under a lot of pressure from Newman. Oh, what's that? I can hear something. What's going on?
I can't see
There
it.
was contact, I heard it.
I'm looking at.
It might, oh, look at this, yeah.
McIntyre, though.
Might have been Fluke at Balfour, was it?
It might have been, because those two are now too wide, and now here comes Simon Fields to join the action as well. Down the inside he goes into Paddock Hill Bend.
And of course,
whoa!
Got a slight tap from Balfour. Good driving from Field to save that. Of course, with the retirement, well, not retirement, sorry, with the misfortune of Stelin Chepelevsky, Adam, it really does put Simon Field in a good position here if he can just finish in the top 10.
Just needs to get inside the top 10. Yeah, his championship lead will grow quite considerably. Where is Stelin Chepelevsky? Nowhere to be seen there. So this is definitely going to help with his championship aspirations, even though we're only 12 races into the season.
I think Chepelevsky's out of the race, Adam.
So that's a 0 then for Cheppy.
It is. Yep.
On to lap 14 then of the race. Savinovic 46.3, Rushworth 46.3. They're lapping identical lap times, nearly down to the thousandth. Only 3 thousandths separated them last time around. Lap 14, just over 5 or so laps to go here in this fourth and final race of the evening. And the gap of the line between them was just under 4/10 of a second. Rushworth, wonder if he's just dropped just a little bit, just to cool the tyres down, and then he can have one last go as Savinovic in the closing stages.
Yep.
Shabbat just got Johansson. Sorry guys, interrupting again, but moves himself up to 11th place, just behind Russ now.
The Wright brothers very close on track together as well. Jay in front of Max by half a second. That's for 37th place. They've got Ken Bracey in front of them.
Ken Bracey, who had the opportunity to be on reverse grid pole, we had a full reverse grid.
And they ended up starting 49th.
Imagine if his fortunes were different, you could be leading this race.
Good indeed.
Oh, Shellback out of control, trying to get past Balfour into Paddock Hill Bend. They both put 2 wheels into the gravel, and now Balfour and Shellback trying to defend from Philip Johansson. And look at that, Valetech car, Laidler trying to get past Richard Gore.
Laidler having a bit of a lunge into Druids. Richard Gore, however, resisting that, but Gore sort of defended fresh air into Graham Hill Bend, Adam, and that could put him in a bit of bother into Surtees.
Oh, at the same time, Rushworth's as close as he's ever been.
Contact at clearways between that Score and Hall. Michael Hall there.
Here comes Jamie. Savinovic covering the inside. That's the first time he's had to do that tonight. Yep. The action's definitely picking up here.
And that's not defending fresh air from Wojciech Savinovic. That's the difference. Now is he going to defend into Graham Hill? He doesn't need to, because you know that it's very difficult to pass there unless you're partly alongside, which Jamie Rushworth wasn't on that occasion.
Surtees then. And up towards clearways.
First time actually we've seen Job and Baker anywhere near the front really in this meeting. And going well
really
into
hurt them. They just, and the reverse grids just haven't fallen at all for them tonight. So
what happens, isn't it? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And some traffic up ahead, Adam. Don't know if they'll catch that with 3 laps to go though, mind
Dan
you.
Blake, yes, in the Engine All Direct car. They closed up on Cesare Rizzo though pretty quickly in race 1.
Is somebody dropping down? Oh no, it was Gore. Gore's had a bit of a problem, I think, because he's dropped well off Katz and Hunt there.
Here we go then. About to start the penultimate lap of the race. Rushworth very close there, looking in towards clearway. Savinovic covering it, and Rushworth just having to get the cut back on the exit, looking this way and that though.
Alex, where's the move going to be done here?
yeah, I'm not sure. Katz is placing his car absolutely perfect. He might not have the mid-corner apex speed that the CQR cars have got at the moment, but I think what's important is absolutely nailing his exits, getting such great drive, and this is making it almost impossible for Rushworth to get a run on him where he could just, poke one up the inside.
Very tough, isn't it, Adam, when somebody's defending so well?
It is indeed. Here we go. 1.5 laps to go then. Out of Graham Hill Bend, down towards 30. We've seen so far tonight, it is so hard to get a move done here. So Rushworth will really have to try and get it done at the start of the final lap of the race to stop Savidovic taking his 3rd win of the season and 3rd win here at Brands Hatch. Over the line we go then, onto the final lap of the race. Gap of the line was 2 tenths of a second last time around. It is now 1.5 tenths. Into the first corner then, Paddock Hill Bend. Savidovic covering the inside. Rushworth though doesn't get the best line through there, Andrew.
No, not really. He couldn't really capitalise as he would have wanted. But, he's got half a chance if he can stick the nose up the inside into one of these corners here. He might only have one last chance, and that might be the old bump and run, Adam, in clearways, if I'm brutally honest. That's what he may have to resort to, because he flashes the lights of the Kier Optima.
Up towards the final corner. Oh, yes!
Oh, yes, it is! Oh, is he going to finish him off? No, he doesn't quite.
No, he doesn't.
Is he going to get the run?
Savidovic just covers across.
Oh, not quite. Why not?
He's going to take his 3rd win of the season and a hat-trick of wins at Brands Hatch.
You know what I have to say? I'm not usually a fan of that, but why not on the last lap? You're going to go for it, haven't you? And he did it in a safe way, really. That's where the good drivers are, Alex, is that they know they're not going to take the man out by doing that.
Yeah, you're right. You just give him but I get the sense that if he really wanted that, as there's still battles going on out there as they cross the line, he could have had that. Do you know what I mean? Just had to keep his foot in it, but he didn't want to do it like that.
Jay Wright,
like you say, a little bump, he'll take it.
Jay Wright's got Ken Bracey on the last lap. Good work by him. Yeah, some good stuff. All the way, and Dan Blake's going to be the last man over. 41st.
Wow.
So, what a great meeting that was. It was cracking.
The highest difference between 1st and 2nd was about 2 seconds. That's how close it was tonight, I think. And if not 3 of the 4 races have been 1/10 of a second or so. So that's how close you've had.
Sorry, 4 drivers within a second as well.
4 drivers in a second, yeah, 9/10 of a second separating Savidovic and Baker. And the cars that were finishing it, ran at the end, 39 cars separated by 43 seconds. And yeah, a few retirements so in this 4th and final race, but still some great action. And yeah, the cars that started inside the top 10 that finished there, we only had 3 drivers that finished inside the top 10 that didn't start there. So once again, overtaking was a premium.
It was, but a lot of people showed that it could be done fairly and cleanly if you do have the chance to do it. So, well, Alex, that was quite. What?
Yeah,
no safety car.
No safety car. Where's my safety car? I really expected one today. I've been, yeah. I'm gonna say.
I think we got a good.
I called that one wrong, but I'm glad I called it wrong as well. That race 3 was absolutely epic, and 51 cars at the end, all on the same lap as well. And this race was really good as well. Just a couple of little bits here and there. Nothing too major again, and we've got 41 cars out there with picking up points in this race too. So it's been great meeting all round actually, and I always enjoy Brands Hatch, but yeah, it is difficult to overtake, and but everybody was just a little bit patient. There's a lot of penalties give out last week, and I think perhaps a lot of drivers just sort of took that on board and just backed it down a little bit.
I think when the biggest accident we had, Adam, was probably 2 or 3 car crash. I think there might have been I think there may have been a 5-car accident at the start there, but it's better than one of the races. I think it was Zolder where we had a 40-car crash nearly.
Yeah, and we had less than half the cars finishing the race. That's not been too good. But yeah, tonight, brilliant advert for the BSR TC. Brands Hatch Indy, a great circuit for touring car racing on. And wherever we head to next week, I'm sure that the action will carry over there. I'll get the calendar up pretty short.
I do believe, actually, the 39 cars that finished race 4, don't quote me on that, but it may have been the lowest number of finishes all night. So just congratulations to everybody, really.
Well, let's see if that is able to be carried forward to the next round next week, where we head to the Phoenix Oval, which was on Motors TV the other night. If you got to see it, I'm sure it'll be repeated at some other point. But yeah, we're back to the Phoenix Oval. and then we're back to...
Quick visit to the Phoenix Oval, actually, after it only been, 2 months ago?
2 months ago, so the drivers it'll be fresh in their memories, considering we have so many racetracks that we race on here. And then we head to Donington, and then the Nordschleife is looming, because it's going to be here on the 21st of April.
Now, are we back on the old circuit of Phoenix, are we, again?
Yes, 62 grid slots.
Oh my.
Well,
oh my goodness.
That will be line just literally following everyone around.
Boogity. 62 grid slots on an oval circuit. These maniacs? Oh, you don't want to miss that, do you? We've got. Do we have any victims for the commentary box?
Yeah, there's a couple. Let's just quickly speak to Wojciech, and then we'll speak to Craig as well that we didn't get to last week. So let's bring our race winner down.
And Wojciech Savidovic joins us in the commentary box. Well, Wojciech, you had to hold off a little bit of pressure there from Jamie Rushworth in race 4.
Yes, definitely. Jamie had a pace on me, I think. I wasn't really feeling that confident tonight, so I knew from the second lap when Jamie was behind me that it's not going to be easy to take the win, but yeah, I managed to hold on to. Thank you.
So it was quite a tough night out there. Everybody's in close quarters, and we saw you get hit off the track actually in one of the races as well. But what do you have to do to just survive on a track like Brands Hatch?
Keep the inside. That's all you have to do. Because if you let someone inside, you're gone. You're gonna be tapped out of the position. That's the reality, unfortunately, and it's really, really hard to go around to someone.
Next week, then, Wojciech, we head to the Phoenix Oval. How did you go around there last season, and do you think you can carry any of this form forward to the next race meeting? You managed to take a win there last season, in fact.
Yes, yeah. For some reason, ovals work very well for me. I don't know if it's the setup or the way I drive the car. I seems to be good on any tracks with the fast flowing corners, and ovals, obviously, it's all about the 2 long corners every single lap, which is, I actually feel quite confident, and hopefully it's going to be even better week next time around.
Just before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone here on Apex Racing TV?
Obviously, I wanted to thank you, our team sponsor, Eurochip Digital, and all the guys in the team. I think we won the night tonight as a team. So
946 points you did indeed.
So good week for us. Thank you very much.
So Wojciech Savidovic, thanks for talking to us. A hat-trick of wins at Brands Hatch and a hat-trick of wins so far this season. We'll see you at the Phoenix Oval next week.
I'll see you there.
Let's see who else we can get then into the box. So we wanted to go for Craig Evans, and he joins us now, Andrew.
Yes, he does indeed. Craig, how did you find that out there, mate?
It was quite difficult tonight, to be fair. It's probably the worst nights of racing I've had since I joined the league, so quite tough this evening.
Do you have any particular incidents? Obviously, you'll have to excuse us a little bit. It's quite hard to see what was going on out there a lot of the time, but any particular problems out there?
I think it was just kind of getting caught in the aftermath of some of them, trying to avoid them and getting a slowed in here or there, but I just didn't really have that right pace tonight either, so and that's kind of helped me slide down the standings more than I'd have liked to. But just a case of kind of going onwards for next week, hopefully.
What do you think about the next track we go to then, the Phoenix Oval? I mean, I know I think you were doing quite decently there when we were there last time, so what do you think?
Ovals have actually been my weakest ones, to be fair. I think I was just kind of following people and keeping out of trouble when we did them in the winter series. So I didn't know it was the oval next, so I'm not looking forward to that one, to be honest with you. But just finish all 4 races, get the points on the board, and it should be okay, I'm hoping.
Got a quick word for your sponsors at all, Craig?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks to Automic for sponsoring the team. Quite liking the livery that we've got in the car, so thanks to Andy Whitehead for that as well. And also thanks to Staffy Supplies. They've gone and put their logo on the roof of the cars, so check them out. I think they've actually put a discount code on the website, BSRTC 2016. I think that gets you 10 or 15% off any of their products, so thanks to them for that as well.
Alright.
Awesome. Thank you
Alex,
very much, mate. Yeah, no, just
Ex-
going to say, yeah, thank you very much. And just, yeah, look forward to seeing how you get on at Phoenix. Hopefully it won't be as bad as you fear it might be.
Let's hope not. Thanks for having me, guys.
All
All
right.
right, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
Craig McLeod Evans there, and
Is Simon
very
Field?
good.
Evening, guys.
Good evening.
Oh, now then,
How are we all?
Yeah, good.
this
Good
has been a
race.
while.
Yeah.
That's been a little while, hasn't it? I have to admit, I've not made an appearance for a while. I must be doing something right.
Well, yeah, the championship standings seem to be looking good. Let's have a look. You are 52 points ahead at the end of this race meeting.
52? How'd that? Oh, Cheppy didn't finish, did he?
No, which
I'll take that.
even though it's early on, I mean, what you must be pleased to have made a good start, because I think we noted last season. I just think it just didn't go your way for quite a long time.
Well, last season, I mean, the start of last season was a bit like this season, really. It was lots of, there or thereabouts top 10, but I wasn't finishing all the races. Obviously, the start of this season, I've finished all 12, and I believe I've finished all 12 in the top 10 as well. So, it's not been... I've not been the quickest. I'd certainly like a couple of podiums, even a win here or there. But it's just starting, mid top 10 and just making the odd place here and there where I can, and just trying to be sensible, really.
Was it quite tough out there in terms of, you always can't really look forward, can you? You always have to look in your mirrors around this circuit a lot of the time.
Well, I have to admit, race 1 and race 4 especially, the car was really nice to drive, so I wasn't worried about what was going on behind. I was able to focus going forward. Race 2 was okay. Race 3, Ben Haxon was very kind, actually. He didn't put up much of a fight, and then he was stuck behind me for the rest of the race, so I think he probably regretted that move. But yeah, for the most part, I've been able to go forward and just enjoy the racing, and it has been good. But I certainly hope so. Anyway.
Well, next week we head to the not the Pocono Oval. We head to the Phoenix Oval. However, you did get a win on the Pocono Oval last season. Do you think that form on the Oval can help at Phoenix compared to Pocono?
From the old UKI Oval days, that was always has been my favourite all-time oval, and I've tended to do reasonably well in the Kia as well. So again, I'm hoping for another strong race day. Really, we'll just have to see. It is an oval, so obviously there's quite the potential for carnage, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
Well, we look forward to seeing you there, Simon, and we look forward to seeing if you can maintain that lead in the championship, of course.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, fellas.
Is there anybody? Sorry, just quickly, you want to thank before you leave us there?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the main thing really is the two teammates, Pete and Nathan. They spend a lot of time working on the setups, and they do a lot more work on it than I do, and I just throw it in the car and it comes out working quite well. So, for me, the main thing, and obviously the organisers as well, obviously it's a cracking series. I've been in it since season 1, but all the work that goes into making this what it is, it's fun for me, and I hope it's fun for everyone watching and driving as well.
All right. On that note, we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Alex, it's been a while since we spoke to Simon Field, but he's got to be happy with the start he's made.
Exactly that consistency, outs at the end of the season. Like you say, I think he wants to get a win. He wants to sort of say, well, look, I'm here because I've got some wins, and he's more than capable of getting that. And we saw him last season pick up lots of wins, to be honest. So he's definitely can do it again, I'm sure. And if he just carries on pushing on the same mindset, he's going to be right up there. And the end of the season, of course, the guys want those podiums. Just for anybody tuning in doesn't really understand what goes on. Obviously, we have the showdown at the end of the season, and the podiums equal points going into that showdown as well. So that's why you can be consistent, keep getting these top 10 points. top of the championship, but it means nothing when the showdown starts if you haven't had any podiums before, because you'll sit there on basically the entry points, while other drivers who have, of course, won races and been on the podiums will actually be ahead in the championship. So that's obviously that's why he's got his motivation to get some podium finishes there.
Tell you what, though, looking at the top 10 in points, only Savidovic and Fluke that are in the top 10 in points have actually won a race this season, and that shows you the level of consistency of the other drivers to still be up there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you need. We mentioned that all season, last season. That's what you need in order to get to the top around this British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. I've got a quick thing to mention just before we leave as well. Quite a big moment for sim racing as well, really, which I've just been kind of reminded of, because I kind of forgotten this, is that Stoffel van Dorn is making his Formula 1 debut at the weekend as well, and he's a former, well, I think he may even be a current sim racer, but he did win the Touring Pro Series, of course, back in 2012, and that's amazing, really, that someone, who's so dedicated to sim racing can make it into Formula 1.
And isn't Jan Mardenborough, he's on a route somewhere, I think, to get to Formula 1 in the end, and of course won GT Academy there as well. So,
I mean, Alex, it's really great, these opportunities that a lot of the sim racers are getting these days. And of course, Van Dorn didn't get there just because of the sim racing, but it's great for us that he's had such a good performance in our sport and in the real life world as well.
It's only going to get better as well. The new generation coming through, they're all, constantly on the sims, and the more and more that come up through the ranks, the better for our sport as well, really. And
Ash Sutton, for example, yeah,
that's
exactly
the main one,
yeah. But that's why you can see his sim racing experience, Alex, on the track, because he's such a good overtaker and he's so good in close quarters action. That must be partly to do with the BSR TC.
Yep, yeah, absolutely, which would be awesome to see him put that into practice, kind of thing.
And we look forward to seeing Van Dorn out there on the track, of course, there, and even guys like Rubens Barrichello getting involved in recent weeks as well. So fair play to them, and thank you for everybody else who's watched us here tonight as well on iRacing Live, on YouTube, and on Motors TV. Been a great night of action from Brands Hatch. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, Andrew Woodhouse, Alan Bath, and Alex Simpson, we will see you next week at Phoenix, the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.